Good evening to those online checking in to the stream. If you're watching the video back, thank you for joining us here at the Velodrome. I'm just on mic to you right now as the on-field meeting is going on for our riders. And as soon as that is wrapped up, we're going to take it back to our live audience and get everything off and rolling. Tonight is the Derby Day special edition of Friday Night Racing. It's basically a normal Friday night program. We've got some great racing ahead of us, including some classics between the Scratch, the Keirin Heats, and of course, our points race to close it off. A very traditional set of 3 races to go tonight, and of course Kiddie Kilo, always a good one to enjoy. So lots of great stuff going on. The live audience here is having a great time. They're supporting Derby Days today. It's our downtown Redmond annual fair that's returned. Took a little bit of a hiatus thanks to the whole COVID thing, and this year they partnered with us to make our Friday night and their night just a little bit more interesting. They're going on again tomorrow, so if you're a Seattle or Bellevue greater area native and you can make your way into downtown Redmond, they've got great stuff going on, all-day music. They've got local businesses and craft booths set up. There's an opportunity for a beverage garden and food trucks all over the place, and a small carnival going on, as well as a midday parade. So lots of things going on for Derby Days tomorrow. That's Saturday. And of course tonight they'll be carrying on until 10 p.m. in case you're curious about that as well. Here on the field, though, again, we have our riders gathered up for a quick meeting, just hanging out, enjoying the scene. As you can see, if you're tuning in and watching, obviously you get a good view right now of the grandstands. Lots of folks here today checking out racing, possibly for the first time. Maybe you're coming back and rewatching this later. We've got a great turnout today for a Friday night, and it's a beautiful evening. We're really excited for this opportunity to have a lot of new eyes on the track today, joining us for maybe the very first time. Thanks again for tuning in. If you're enjoying the stream at any time, I'd invite you while you're here to swipe down and hit that thumbs up and subscribe button, as that would make a big difference. We're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could also take the time and hit share and put that somewhere else out there, right? Send it to your friends and family in an email, a text, put it up on social media. Let people know you're getting this sort of a great treatment to watching racing here at the Velodrome. We'd appreciate it. And with that, folks, I can welcome you officially to the beginning of racing. It's Friday night at the Velodrome, and the first group up to the rail, please, the Cat 1-2 men for their Scratch race. Thanks for joining us. We've got some fast racing on the deck tonight, and the first group up to the line is going to be racing a 15-lap Scratch race. The Cat 1-2 men getting queued up on the rail. I know I got a lot of new folks here tonight, so I'm also going to try to explain to you the way these races work. I'm going to be calling who's out on the track, who to be watching for, talk a little bit about the tactics, what's happening in the middle of that pack, who's making the moves off the front. All those fun bits are going to come from me during the race, so if you have any questions or thoughts about what's going on, don't be afraid to come over to the building and shout up a question or check in with us. You can also go onto the stream and leave a comment. We'll be watching the YouTube stream throughout today for any live comments and try to get any questions answered or any shout outs people have for any of our riders tonight. All right, and they're going out for a neutral lap. So usually on these mass start races, we have all these riders at the rail. They go take one lap around the track, sort of like you do in an automobile race. Everything's neutralized, get everybody together, and then out of turn 4, the one on our left, the last turn they'll make around the Velodrome, they'll get a whistle from the official saying racing has started. Then we're going to start counting down these laps. They've got 15 in total. At the end of the race, there will be a big bell ringing here at the finish line. That'll tell us that it's on the last lap, and that's the most important one because that's where we find out our winner. This is a standard race for the finish line. You'll see later tonight we've got some different formats we do here at the track, which keeps things interesting for repeat visitors. It's never the same program 2 weeks in a row. On the back straight, our group's looking like they're all together. They should be getting the go-ahead here shortly. One more time around. Quick reminder, beverage garden stays in the beverage garden. Unfortunately, we do have a limited space where we are licensed with the state of Washington to serve, you must stay within that area. I know we got some new folks here excited to go hang out and check out the corner views, and it's a beautiful afternoon to go have your picnic. But unfortunately, if you've got a beverage, you're staying in the beverage garden tonight. Thank you for your cooperation in that policy. Our field now getting a bit more together, and we'll see now if they can get the sign to get this race started. And there's our whistle. Racing is underway. 15 to go. Here's your round of practice, folks. Put your hands together as we get this race started. You make a little noise. When you're here in person, right, you cheer like that. The riders can hear you. That gets the race kind of started in a good way. Now, sometimes there's going to be moments in the race where somebody goes off the front. There's a big attack that's going on, right? Somebody's putting in a big effort. That's another good opportunity to cheer a little bit, make some noise for the riders. If they're sitting in here like this, it's all right. This is a good chance for you to pick out your favorite. You know, maybe you've never seen a rider before. You'll just pick it based on the color of their jersey. 14 to go. Cat 1-2s. Found Cycling on the lead there. Chris Wilson had one of my favorite races of the year last week. Number 27 did, with a solo attack at the end of a big race for our junior takeover last Friday, and he was one heck of a finisher that particular evening. So watch out for number 27 for the Found Cycling Guild. He's got that white helmet. He cruises to the back of the field now. He was one heck of a speedster off the front, an impressive effort for him. We'll see what he brings out here tonight. His teammate's another one to watch. This is the Rocket, Dave Richter, right at the front of the field. Number 7. If this stays together, he's a dangerous rider with a lot of top speed and savvy inside of the field. Also seen him this year put in some efforts from the front and break things up a bit as well. So an overall very strong rider to watch. Number 2, Kenny Williams for the Center Cycles in the blue. Takes the front spot for a moment before Carl Hofer in the red moves up for Audi Racing. Saw Carl trying to stir the pot a lot last week. He's got plenty of endurance out here. He's going to be trying to figure out a way to win from the front and pull away from these competitors at some point. That's Kenny Williams, I think, sitting up with the mechanical situation going on here. A little bit of extra bike noise off the back as he will move himself out of the pack and reset himself to see what's going on in the infield. Scene 11 to go. 11 to go. Matthew Brady for Koss Racing, number 40. A recent transplant from the Colorado area. This is his first season racing with us. He's been a weekly competitor here, moving up from the Cat 3s quickly into the Cat 1-2s. Your Rider of the Year jersey is made his way to the front. The overall, so far, the strongest rider this season, Mario Sandoval for the Found Cycling Guild, is wearing the sort of that retro colored jersey. He's got the red bike on. He swings up to the top. He's now moving his way back down, middle of the field. Seeing 10 to go. You'll want to watch out for the rider in the wearing that leader's jersey. He's about the 5th rider in the lineup now. There's a bit of a snap here in the group as we're getting a small break in the back half. Our field's going to get a bit smaller. Now into the prow, Brandon Russell. Another rider for Found Cycling Guild. They've shown up tonight in good numbers, so a lot of riders from the dark green team, one of our Seattle-based road and track specialists here. The Broadmark Realty team, number 4, Andy Baker, takes the lead spot for the half-lap pole. Another rider to watch out for is an overall strong and smart rider. We'll have a lot of ways to try to figure out this one, as he's shown that he's coming back well from an injury early this season. Took him off the bike for a few weeks, so we'll see what number 4 does today. Everything's still basically together. We got a couple riders off the back of the field as the pace has been pretty consistent and quick, but nothing crazy. No attacks from the front. Everyone's still together, seeing 8 to go. We're almost halfway through. Sandoval, there's our leader's jersey again at the front. Swinging up to the rail. That sort of momentum change that you see the riders doing constantly, that's because it's more work at the front. So riders at the front don't want to stay there too long, as that's going to be a little bit more effort expended. You want to find a wheel to get on after doing your pull. Here goes the Rocket, Dave Richter, gets a pull off the front, and Carl Hofer is always willing to go off and away, so he had a good wheel. He decides to follow Richter off the front. We have a bit of an attack here now. That's a junior rider, number 18, with the orange helmet, riding for the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team that makes his way up. Andy Baker, number 4, and there's Matthew Brady, our rider recently transplanted out of the Colorado area. Number 40 makes his way up quickly. We now have the haves and the have-nots, with one bridging group of 3 in the middle trying to get up to the front. Gavin says, go Andy. All right. We've got a cheer for Andy already. I'm guessing that's Andy Baker out there. Tuning in for number 4, who's now second from the very front, right behind Hofer. Most of the riders have found their way back into this field, so it broke apart for a little bit. It's now starting to come back together again. Open women are up next. The open women field should be on deck ready to go here shortly as we are 5 laps out. There's Baker on the front, getting good help from the home crowd. Yes, the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome, the same family name, Andy Baker. You can learn more about the man that made a lot of people ride their bikes on our website. We named it after him after his passing just a few years back. And continue on the great tradition of trying to serve this community, bring education and great racing to the Pacific Northwest at this velodrome. Seeing 4 to go, 4 to go. Brandon Russell driving the train, number 6. Another fun fact about us here, we're one of the largest velodromes in the world, and what I mean by that is that most of them choose to be smaller. This is a 400-meter gentle giant, very gentle curves in those banks. You think that looks extreme, go check out an indoor track of 250 meters and see what that looks like. This is a great track to learn on. It's very comfortable for beginners. It doesn't introduce a whole lot of swing in and out of the corners. Great facility to learn the sport at. Carl Hofer finds himself at the front again. Number 7 slots into position for just a moment. Riders quickly pulling off the front. They're starting to get a bit greedier now as they've shrunk this field down a little bit. As the field gets smaller, there's less threatening riders left. Coming around to the home straight, they're going to be seeing 2 to go. The riders on the home straight now. This is our field. Everybody else is behind them. This is the front of the race now hitting the line. 2 to go. Here's where you're going to want to start watching the riders in the middle of this field. So some of the numbers I picked out earlier, where are they located at? Where's number 7? Where's number 27? Where is our leader's jersey? Where's number 4? Watch how they start to kind of find a wheel or a position to be on. Matthew Brady was watching the wheel of Richter, who goes early. The bell's not ringing yet. Here goes the rocket. He's going to go for a 500-meter effort. Can anybody catch back onto him? Here he goes. Matthew Brady's got the wheel at the moment. He looks back around. It's 1 to go. 1 to go. The rocket is sent off the big attack. The front of the field hasn't found a way to get back up to him. Matthew Brady's still on his wheel. He's making Richter do all the work right now. Can anybody get up there in time? Mike Robson's starting to go. Brandon Russell up and out of the saddle from the field. They're trying to get up there quickly. Number 6 making his move. He brings with him Mario Sandoval and Andy Baker. Coming around the corner. It's still Richter on the front. It's going to be the rocket from 500 meters. Brady's trying to get around the outside. It's Richter, Brady, and Russell. 1, 2, and 3. Number 7. From way back in turn 3, gets it started early and has a fantastic finish. Open women are coming to the rail next, just making sure we're all finished here and everybody's going to exit the track safely. And with that, we invite the open women field to the rail, please. Open women to the rail. I just want to take a moment to recognize that there are a lot of people behind the scenes that are working to support all riders coming out to the velodrome. This is the biggest field tonight, our open women's field, and it's the first time that's happened this season. We put our hands together for this open women's field tonight. We'll get this thing started here shortly. We got another scratch race coming up. Cadence is getting the call out for the fist bumps needed. All right, 25 competitors rolling off the rail. Big shout out to the breakfast racing team as well. This a lot of pancakes showing up today. That's a couple of the riders there, number 223 and 221. You'll see a lot of riders in that same jersey tonight. Athletes showing up in good style this evening for their first race of the night. It's a scratch race for the open women. And rules are all the same. It's going to be a 10-lap event with the bell ringing at the end to let us know it's the final lap. And first rider across the line, of course, the winner. These neutral laps are a good chance to take a look at the field and see if you can spot a few things. You're looking for that leader's jersey. You saw Mario Sandoval wearing it earlier. You're going to find out here on the back of a junior. Her name's Danny Scoville. She's wearing a bright orange helmet. She's right in the middle of the field. So she's had the most overall success this season so far. And the whistle signaling the race is underway. Becca Book keeping it fast right from the get-go. Number 3 picks up the pace. Whoa. So again, you already know the leader's jersey, who's wearing that one. Her name's Danny. She's mid-upper part of the pack now with that orange helmet. She's got that leader's jersey on, showing that she's had great success throughout this part of the season early on in this year. Becca Book has shown up recently these last couple of weeks, and she's really been dialing in some great races herself. So here's number 3, trying to put on the solo early effort. Seeing 9 to go. Alicia Stott's 2:06 has been putting on a good campaign here this year. She makes her way up. She's racing also in the green of the Fountain Cycling Guild. She just saw one of her teammates pick up the victory a moment ago in the Cat 1-2, so she's feeling energized. Both riders seem to not be sure exactly where they want to be on the track just yet off the front. They're going to reset themselves, though, as the field is starting to close down the distance. Here comes one of our out-of-town visitors. It's Jenna Lingwins making the turn here and chasing down our 2 leaders. Bring it all back together. 8 to go. If you were tuning on the stream, you just saw a moment ago the live view from number 88, Catherine Wade Easley, on the GoPro from the front of the camera. So if you're here in person, you'll find her in the blue. She's 4th from the front. Getting a look right now at bib number 1 right in front of her is Kelly Darlene, another one of our juniors. Very high on the Rider of the Year list, too. She's got lots of points. She's wearing bib number 1 because she won it last season. So another rider to watch, number 1 with that beige disc wheel on the back for aerodynamics. Still sitting on the wheel of now Jenna Lingwood, who's leading it at 7 to go. Wade Easley, number 88, and Scoville, number 10 with that orange helmet. There's that leader's jersey. Right behind her is another one of the juniors. Our junior riders, for the majority of them, are racing for the Jerry Baker Junior Squad. You can find out more about them on our website under the education tab, jerrybakerjuniors.org. Learn a little bit more about a team that is affiliated with the Velodrome here. 40-plus riders now. I think the last time a kid yelled at me, it was 42. You blink and there's another kid that joins the team. It's been growing so fast in the last couple of years. Spread out across the track, waiting for the next move to come. It's 6 to go. This field's stalled together. There goes Becca again. She's relentless here, really trying to tire this field out a bit. She knows this is a short race, so she's trying to put on as much pressure as she can early. The rest of the field not matching tempo right away. I believe that's Erin Bailey for the Breakfast Racing team at the front, trying to catch back on to the effort of Becca, bringing with her that leader's jersey and several other of our favorites mentioned earlier. Not able to get away just yet. Number 3 hits the front with 5 to go. Number 10 finds the catch first. Got some of our competitors trying to hold on to the quick speed of Becca. This is one of the advantages of these sort of mid-race attacks, is to thin the field out. You never know who you might be getting rid of. Somebody who may have a really strong single attack at the end of the race if you don't make it fast in the middle. Amar Edwards now slots into the front. Edwards with 4 to go. No more out-of-towners. Linda Lingwood, number 15, pulls up and out of the way. And this sort of invites the first sort of bunching of the field above the blue line for just a moment, as the field is waiting for the next bit of impetus of speed. Lots of attacks from Becca has caused many of the riders to be okay with this slowdown. They're ready to catch their breath for just a moment. And they also know they're getting into the final quarter of this race, where it's really going to come down to the big final move. Breakfast Racing taking a bit of action off the front, waiting for the next thing to happen. The silence here, the calm before the big storm. 3 to go. Now Samantha Dorr, number 218, one of our Seattle riders in the green, that was at the lead. She's got that bright green helmet on, leading the field now with still pretty stretched out behind her to the right. Not everybody's trying to find a wheel to be on. They're at medium speed right now, but starting to pick things back up again as some of our riders are starting to use the upper part of the track to reestablish themselves. That looks to be one of our riders for the Center Cycles team with that black helmet moving into position, seeing 2 to go. Heather Nielsen looking for a spot to be. That's number 5. She stays at the blue line. She sits side by side with a teammate, number 88, Catherine Wade-Easley. Samantha's still down there in the sprinter's lane in the lead spot. She finally moves up and out of the way and says, somebody else has got to take this. I need a break. Moderate tempo here still from the field, and still plenty of riders in this very large group. So many different ways to win this race. Now positioning in this big field is going to become really important. You've only got 1 lap to go. Program Director Edwards off the front. 1 to go. Edwards leads out the strike. Breakfast Racing sends forward 219 as Andy Jordan's on the lead. They got a good wheel of Edwards now trying to hold on. I see number 88, Catherine Wade-Easley, brings with her Becca Book, Jenna Lingwood, Scoville all lined up. Edwards still leading it out at the moment, trying to find a little bit more to hold on. Here comes Becca Book around the outside. Jenna Lingwood and Danny Scoville making a run at it. Book has been in this race the whole time. Here comes Lingwood and Scoville. Lingwood will get the big win. Scoville flies in fast for second. And Becca Book with a great race today. So active, still able to pull off that sprint at the end. She'll find third in a great finish for the open women field. The Kiddie Kilo's got 2 more races, parents. Just 2 more races. We're going to call it the Cat 3 men in just a moment. Then the Cat 4 men. And during the Cat 4 men race, I'll ask for us to get queued up. Cat 3 men to the rail, please. Cat 3 men to the rail. Do us a lot of good right now if you have a moment to tune in. Velodrome.org/live. Everybody's got to turn on their smart device. Go open up that live stream. Hit the thumbs up. Start watching for a little bit and give a subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And if you could also post that you're here at the Velodrome. Say, hey, I'm enjoying some great racing. Never been here before. You guys can check it out too. Check out this live stream they got going on. You can get the link for the live stream at velodrome.org/live. Last call, Cat 3 men. Last call, Cat 3 men for the scratch. Last call, Cat 3 men. I see 1 helmet going on and some hustle on the infield. I think we got 1 more joining us. Come on, folks, if you're on the live stream, check out these views. Chase is down there getting the up right in your face look so you can see the riders before they get taken off. That's the kind of coverage we're trying to bring to the audience out there. And you can rewatch all the action later. Our channel is JB Velodrome, where you can see all the racing action. After the race is concluded, you can go back and rewatch the racing and all races previous as well throughout this season and many before. Here comes Peter. He figured it out. We're almost ready to start. And there's a sign for the neutral to start. Cat 3 men for the neutral lap in their scratch race. Okay, sounds like Amara wants to get the Kiddie Kilo wrangling now. It's a little earlier than I just announced, but we're going to go ahead and ask if you are in the Kiddie Kilos. We're going to start forming you up between the beverage garden area and the grandstands. Good chance to come on over and pick up a beverage. Of course, QT Food Truck is ready to go with some great street tacos. They got burritos, quesadillas. Yummy Box is serving up some delicious food out of the food truck as well. Both are ready. Both are delicious. Coming over and pick up a dinner or some take-home for yourself later tonight. They're going to be here all evening. If you're here from Derby Days, got shuttled over, our thanks to Microsoft for partnering with the City of Redmond. We are the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. We're a couple races in tonight to our Friday night program, about ready to start our third group this evening. And the whistle says we are racing. 12 to go for the Cat 3 men. It's 12 laps of scratch racing. Pick a side, folks. Do not try to cross the track. Make sure that we have no arms and limbs or any loose things going onto the race surface at any time. If our officials or any of our staff members see that, we may have to shut down the racing for a moment for the safety of all. So please, please be mindful of that. As well as if you are enjoying a beverage tonight, our thanks to Stanley for those reusable cups. Aren't those gorgeous? Please keep yourself within the beverage garden, and of course, also return those to us. Those reusables are here for everyone to enjoy. We are pouring Bostock Brewing and Locust Ciders tonight, so you can come on over and purchase a beverage and know that that purchase goes to support racing programs right here at the Velodrome. Let's get to the race. We've got something going on here on the track with everybody out in single file formation. The early laps are fast for the Cat 3 men. That's Snowby, Peter Snoblin for Aerotech Racing. They stand out. He's got one other teammate out there, as you can tell, pretty much right away. So James and Peter are both out there wearing the colors of Aerotech. Rider to number 327 from the officials for riding a rider up the track about a lap ago. Rider 327, an official's warning. Yeah, I have a couple of purposes here on the microphone. I'm both the announcer for the audience out here, so you can kind of know what's going on in the race. I'm also partnering with the officials and the race organizers to get good information out to the riders and make sure we're well organized. So that's our officials crew and the blue shirts making sure the riders are safe and organized tonight. Peter Snoblin coming up to the front again to lead things out momentarily. I got reminded that we have one racer coming from quite a ways out today, and he's competing today in the Cat 3s. His name's Andy Bailey for L5 Racing, all the way from Georgia. Flying out here this weekend to compete. Welcome to the Seattle area, number 327, making the long trip out. Seeing 8 to go is now Mr. G, Scott Grinsel at the front for Dyna Racing in the black and pink. There's a lot of aggression at the front of the field, as many times when there's a rider coming to the front, they're just reestablishing the tempo and trying to keep it moving. Going to be seeing 7 to go as we're still practically in single file formation. The colors of Liquid Velo, black and green, take the lead spot. It's Wade Schultz making his return to the track, number 330. A little bit of bunching up at the front as things are kind of resetting themselves. That's going to be Scott Grinsel again working his way up. He's got two riders of the Broadmark Realty team in the white, blue, and yellow sitting right behind him now. Now as Hune Lee in the red bike follows his lead and pulls up out of the way, giving the Gene Johnson cycling team in blue the lead spot. 6 to go. We're about halfway there to this finish. Tyson Danielson, number 321, swings up high and gives room for others to come in and take their turn. A lot of rotation at the front as nobody wants to sit on the lead of this group yet. Several quick laps early on. That gives a window of opportunity for this guy. He never wants to stop on the pace. It's Peter Snoblin again. He says, you guys are too slow. Let's get going again. Snowby's making an attack. He's got 5 to go. Ben Flom, number 306 for the Fell Swoop team, has found the wheel. The rest of this category is having to pick things up quickly or they're going to let these two ride away from them. These are very good riders in the endurance scenario. They're going to be very consistent together. So this is getting some of the riders a little bit more alerted to what's going on off the front. Here comes Snoblin again to the home straight. He's encouraged a couple riders to make the jump up to him, including Tyro Lacey, the Broadmark team, number 329, the rider in white, now in second wheel. Wade Schultz makes the jump up as well, the rider in black and green. part of that group of 5. Andrew Lynch, number 319 in the blue, is now the second rider in the lineup. He's got that white helmet. He makes the move up. Now it looks like we've got ourselves sort of a strong front group of 7, a couple in the chase, and then we've got our back field sort of trying to hold on to the tempo from the front. It's 3 to go. All right, the field's starting to bunch themselves back up again. I do have another warning. This is for number 314. It's Peter Snoblin with a warning for ending the sprinter's lane while occupied. That's a warning to 314. 2 to go. Our field 2 wide at the front now as they go into turns 1 and 2, exiting onto the back straight with Snoblin back at the front again, wanting to drive this pace even more. Ben Flum for Fell Swoop in the black and orange. Cruz is down in the second wheel spot and tries to keep up with him. It's Itai Malakoff for the junior team with that black disc wheel that starts to kind of work its way up to the front. Now here comes the Gene Johnson cycling team along the second lane. They're getting the bell. It's 1 to go. 1 to go for Tyler Danielson. He brings with him, this guy's been silent all night long. It's 3:33. Trying not to make too much noise is the rider for the Jerry Baker Juniors team. And here goes Wade Schultz, who's got lots of motor to show off tonight. Number 330 makes a big move down the back straight. Showing up while he's a Cat 1-2 on the road. He's going to take off big time down the back straight. Here goes Wade, making it fast and furious around the turn. The sprint for second on behind him is between Danielson and Fowler. Fowler still holding on to the wheel. It'll be Danielson for second place, Fowler for third. Ben Flom, with all that effort out the front, still finds a top 5 spot. The rider for Fell Swoop doing a nice race tonight. One more race before the Kiddie Kilos and a couple more riders to get around the track here as we'll make sure everybody's off safe and sound before we invite up the Cat 4 men. Ken Dong tuning in from Vegas to say, go Dyna Racing. Teammate in front of the track, of course. Thanks for tuning in, Ken. Sorry for the choppy stream as usual. Hopefully we'll get that gigabit going soon. Cat 4 men now coming up to the rail. Cat 4 men are coming to the rail for their scratch race. Up next, it's the Derby Days, Kiddie Kilo and a Marymoor Crawl coming up too. Right up after the Cat 4 men. Oh, good to hear, Ken. Good to hear you checking in us from afar. It's been good racing tonight. Big crowds this evening. Thanks to our partners at Derby Days for helping bring some more fans out here to check this out. If this is your first time here at our velodrome, hopefully you're having a great time and enjoying the spectacle of racing of these great athletes. We'll get this started here shortly. Cat 4 men for the scratch race. And there's a sign to roll out for the neutral lap. Do I see more riders joining in on the Aerotech infusion? The colors are spreading. The neon jersey has become more of a thing. Exciting. These teams out here we talk about, they're mostly just for organizing athletes, becoming, giving them opportunity to train together, share resources, sort of network. And of course they wear the same swag, which is fun. But when you're out here on the track, you're actually racing alone. You're not racing as part of a team. Unlike what you might see if you're watching Tour de France coverage right now during the month of July, you'd be seeing riders racing strategically and tactically for the benefit of other members of their team. That doesn't happen at the velodrome. That would be not part of the sport. We actually have every rider competing for themselves. But still kind of cool to check out all these team affiliations. It's all part of the micro communities that is our velodrome community here. And the race is underway. They got 10 laps. Christian Miller tuning in on the live stream asked if Wade should have to race in his blue shirt for the rest of the night after winning the first race. I don't know. Where's Wade at? Is he hiding? Down this way. Okay. I'll harass him about in a bit. Yeah, the blue polo, right? Yeah, that'd be a good look. All right. Well, there's not many votes in, but so far blue polo's leading in the early polling. All right, 9 to go for this field. This is the Cat 4 men. This is the last category racing a scratch race today, so you're familiar with the format now. They're going to ring a bell at 1 to go, and it's an all-out sprint for the finish. Another thing for new folks out here that haven't heard this before, competitive cycling is organized by category. Those categories are based on riders earning upgrade points by doing well in their categories, and as they get those upgrade points, they apply it to their license through USA Cycling. Essentially is sort of the overall body that governs that sort of upgrade system, and of course our local staff that check and verify that. And then they work their way up through the categories. These riders would be the closest to have been just out of the beginner class, and or those that have not earned their upgrade points yet to move to Cat 3, compete as Cat 4 riders, and so on and so forth. So there's a way to have sort of like similarly gauged, similar speed, similar experience categories to keep it more competitive for the athletes. So if you were to come on out to one of our weekends classes and get certified for an adult class, you would theoretically be able to come out here on a Friday night and join the Cat 4s for their next race next week. All you'd have to do is complete the course and start racing, get the okay on a Thursday, on a beginning program, excuse me. Usually takes a week or two to get the thumbs up, and then you too could be a Cat 4 rider in no time. We even have rental bikes here. We cover the cost for your startup, so the bikes are covered in the cost of the class. You can sign up online through velodrome.org. Got to move here out of the field pretty early in the race. Lots of laps still to go. We have the solo attack off the front. One of the Jerry Baker Juniors at 6 to go, making the big solo move. Patrick Sheedy, number 442. I think we're going to send it down to Chase for a quick interview on the infield. We're going to talk real quick with one of our Cat 3s, our out-of-towner from Georgia. Can I send it down to Chase for our interview on the field?
Alrighty, so we are here with Andy Bailey from Dick Lane Velo in Georgia. He's racing as a part of our Cat 3s tonight. So what is it like racing on this huge outdoor track? Like, how does it compare to your home track?
This track is a lot longer than our track, which is 333 meters. So you have to time your sprint a little bit differently, and I will say that the level of competition out here is much, much stronger and faster than what we've got at home.
Alrighty, and is there any sort of like Seattle tourism you're looking forward to, or anything you want to do while you're here?
Actually, we're ending a 2-week stay here, so we've been out to the Methow Valley, the Cascades, Mount St. Helens, all the Seattle things to do. So it's been a lot of fun visiting our daughter Erin here for a couple of weeks.
Alrighty, well that's fantastic. Thank you so much for giving us a little interview, and good luck on the rest of your races.
Yeah, all right, thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, we are a pretty big velodrome in a couple of ways. We got a big community, great turnout tonight thanks to our partnership with Derby Days. We've got a good production here tonight, just all these people here ready to make noise for the end of this Cat 4 men race. They're already starting to pick out their favorites. Who's going to pick up the win in just 3 laps? Bernie Yee, number 407 for Dyna Racing, makes the move off the front. He's trying to make Ken proud, who's tuning in from Las Vegas on the stream right now. You could be doing the same, or maybe just posting about it so people know that they can tune in and watch. Let them know that you're seeing something pretty cool here in Redmond, Washington. You heard it here first from one of our competitors out of Georgia. The competition here is good. We've got great riders in this area. It makes for a fantastic and fun outing. Bernie Yee still burning on the front right now. 407 gritting his teeth and trying to hold on to the lead spot. Here comes number 433 in the red is Michael Westover. He made the long drive over from Mercer Island to compete tonight. And he's going pretty fast here at the rear wheel of Yee. And now he overtakes. Coming into the bell lap, the rider in red has the best position. Look for 3 riders behind him, all lined up. 4 riders lined up, coming in hot on his wheel. Here comes the big sprint for the win. It's going to be a long one as they're already up to speed, hitting the home straight. Jerry Baker Jr.'s lined up. David Magnuson wants to go get this one. He's got JC Pyle, the leader's jersey. Number 405 Also lined up in the lineup is going to be Alex Ackel for the Audi Racing team. Down the back straight still the junior, David Magidson on the lead of the lap. JC Piles on his wheel. Very good position for JC to be in the leader's jersey. He wants to find this win. Alex Ackel really wants to come around the outside of these two young riders. Can the Audi racer find the speed he needs? They're all out spinning. Here comes Magidson still on the front. He's found a good recipe here to hold on all the way around the track. Magidson, Pile, Ackel, 1, 2, and 3. Nicely done. Our riders will make their way off on the back straight. Thank you very much, Cat 4 Men, for another great race. Our scratch races are all wrapped up now, and we're about ready to bring on the first group of, you guessed it, the Kiddie Kilo. Now, we've been pretty good about cheering, but I can, let's imagine for an entire 20-lap race, however much you get to cheer over 20 laps, you have to condense that down into one moment as those riders go by. So we're really good here in this community at making lots of noise for the kids. They'll either be just going down the home straight here for our littlest group, and some of our older groups, they're going to be going around the track all the way one time. All 400 big meters of it. So here comes the littlest of the little ones. The balance bikes coming out in style here. It's a beautiful evening here. We are enjoying our partnership with Derby Days. We've got the food trucks up and ready to go. The beverage garden is pouring Postdoc Brewing and Locust Ciders. The crowds are here in great numbers. We got good racing going on for the rest of the season, too. You do not want to miss the regional championships, Fred's races next weekend. And it's all weekend. We'll have a Friday night event where we'll have the food trucks and the beverage garden here as well. We also got the GP coming up in about a month. That is going to be our national, even international class racers coming into town for the big prize. Cash purse gets really big for the GP. We'd love for you to check out more. If you want to see more about all the events in our full calendar, can't remember anything I say, I don't blame you. Go to velodrome.org. The neon colors are going everywhere. Even the little guys are wearing it now. James has got his son wearing the Aerotech colors. Here they go. What did I tell you about making noise? You only get one chance. There we go. One's even going under the power of the mom bicycle. I mean, it's two legs. It's almost like two wheels. Here we go down the home straight all the way to the grass, kids. All the way to the grass. Keep it going. Keep it going. All the way to the grass. Nice job. All the way to the grass. Baby Shark's taking a right turn. Use that full track, man. Why don't we like the big guys? Let me do the big guy turn. I do not blame you. Oh, now that's service. That is service. Look at that. I want Alex to do that for me. Yeah. All right. Here comes our next group. They're going to be going all the way around the track. I think we have enough kids. We're going to break it up in a couple groups, but they'll go all the way around. So when they hit your corner, you'll make lots of noise and cheer for them. Marymoor Crawl is coming up at the end of the Kiddie Kilo. So Marymoor Crawl, if you want to be in the open crawl competition, that will come up at the end of Kiddie Kilos. Anybody wants to jump in for that? All right. Junior programs start here very young, of course, with the Kiddie Kilos, first and third Fridays of the month usually. We're doing them a lot in June or July to make up for all the missed days in June. Lots of other ways to get involved as a junior, though. I'll talk a bit more about them as these kids are going around the track. Here we go. Ho! One to go. One to go. Orange bike is out hot to start the lap. Down to the left, kids. To your left, stay low. The big kids area is up to the right. Stay left. There you go. Good job. Ooh, good adjustment, number 15. Using that hill for top speed. So young riders are encouraged to come out here and enjoy their time in the Kiddie Kilos. We got 3, 4, or 5-year-olds welcome to come out as long as they got the helmet and some set of wheels to ride around. As young as 9-year-olds and as old as 15 can check out the Camp Velo experience, which is a week-long camp during the summer that riders can sign up for. And it's basically one intense week, 3 hours a day roughly out here on the velodrome with staff, with helpers, learning how to race a track bike. And by the end, those juniors get a quick little graduation, like welcome to the velodrome. And then the very next week, they can start racing on a Monday night as part of the juniors program. So we've been having that going on for a long time here You can look forward to signing these youngsters up when they're of age through the website, velodrome.org, our annual JB Youth Programs Camp Velo, available through the website, velodrome.org. Still spots available, a few left this year, not many. Corner 4 seeing their first action here, the front of the group, making the turn. All the way to the grass, kids. Nice work. Whoa. Matching helmet and frame, too. Look at that. Exciting. Nice racing all the way down to the grass and take the left. There you go. Into the grass. Well done. Nice job. Into the grass where you're going to wait for a little while while we get some more kids out here. That's right, a few more getting a round of applause on the home straight here. Nicely done. That's bike knee pads and helmet color coordination. On point. Oh, no. A little too much fun, maybe, for some. Nice job, kids, all the way. Great work into the grass. Hope you can see here at the Velodrome that this is a community. We see each other a lot, these riders and this team. We've built a community of athletes and people that really care about staying healthy, having a good time with one another, supporting one another. Part of that is supporting our greater community and their youngsters out here with this Kiddie Kilo tradition of ours. We've got probably like, 100 kids here tonight doing this? I mean, who knows? The line is really long. I do have another lost and found item to report. If somebody lost a pair of headphones that they could describe to me, I've got a pair of headphones, wireless headphones that you could describe to me. I got them up here in the building. You can let somebody know that you're looking for those headphones that were lost. We got them in the building. Now there's an entire field right there. Yeah. Look at the beverage garden giving this some love. I love it. One lap around, kids. Here we're almost ready to start. Go. It's one to go all the way around. One time. Here we go. The bikes are getting bigger. And luckily so are the kids. Down in the low part. There you go. To the left. To the left. Always want to ride up where the big people go. Nice. I always want to grow up so fast, you know? There goes the next group off. All right. Make some more noise. One to go, kids. One to go. Nice job. The parade of children is taking off. Stay down to the left, guys. I know. It's so exciting up there. Oh, man. 85 is really, you're going for it. They're all helping you. It's down the hill. Careful. Careful. Bravery. And that should be encouraged, the brave part. I just don't want any injuries. All right, down the back straight, we got kids all over the place. They've taken over the track again. I thought the junior takeover was last weekend. Everywhere you look, there's a youngster. I think 85 is going for high fives up in the rail there. Jeez Louise. Man, oh man. Okay, I'll just keep my attention over here and not look in that direction for now. I'll just over here. This is good. Here they come, our first finisher, speeding around the track. Into the grass, kids, over here into the grass. Nice job. Join the other kids over in the grass. Great, fast lap, you guys. Great job. Nicely done, everybody. Taking a left-hand turn right here. Nicely done. Here goes another couple of finishers here. Nicely done. This big group here all finishing up. Great job. Into the grass, kids. Take a left. Take a left. Take a left. All done. All done. 178 wants another lap. Always so impressed with their energy level. Into the grass, kids. Good job. Into the grass. 1 lap. Nicely done. Good job. All right, our next group's about ready to come onto the track. I would say it's our last, but I think there's still like 50 more, so I don't know. Our future of all sports here, activities, education, all the great things, all riding around the track here today. We're so glad to have a great turnout from our young riders. Nice job. I know it's a big 400-meter track. I think 85 is auditioning for a spot on somebody's team in the future. She's like, I know how to race already. Do you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Wow. She doesn't take the short line around. No way. Nicely done. That was a long lap. Gonna have you some goodies in that basket. Yeah, nice job. Next crew is coming out. Even bigger kids. Oh man. Keep coming up to Amara. She's ready for you. There you go. Nice job. One to go. Here they go. One more time around the track for these guys. All right. 1 fast lap for the kids. Nice job, guys. We got, I think, another group still going, so plenty more fun for the kids here. I love the arrow position, down and low against the handlebars. Some have got the more cruising position figured out. You know, they know how to cruise around town, lean back, nice and tall in the seat. Others are riding more like a shark on their bike. All right, here they come around turn 4. Great job on this lap, kids. Here we go. All the way to the grass. Nice ride in. Nice job, kids. Into the grass we go. Take a left. Into the grass. Keep going. Nice job. All the way into the grass. All right. Here we go. Keep going, kids. All the way to the grass. Keep going until you get to the grass. Keep going so you can get into the grass. There you go. Nice job. Wow, look at the speed from these ones. Love it. And I think this is our last group now. Maybe. All right, we made it. Here we go. Up next is the Marymoor Crawl. If you're in the crawl or would like to compete today in the Marymoor Crawl, please be ready. Riders for the Marymoor Crawl coming next if you'd like to warm up for that event. How about a thumbs up for the kids, everybody is out there. We got, again, I think it's like 100 kids out here today for the Kiddie Kilo. Leave a thumbs up on that YouTube video for all the kid riders that are here today. Wow. Here comes our final group about ready to start. We don't really like a lot of this cross traffic because we want to keep people safe, so if we could hold off just a little longer, we're almost done. I know, it's a lot of kids. Here we go. It's 1 to go for our last crew. Wow, here we go. Okay, we got a lot of brave ones in this group. They're like, we're taking the track right now. Keep the speed up, kids. Don't slow down up there. There you go. All right. On a smaller track, they'd learn that lesson a much harder way. Listen, kids, do not go up there. And then, lo and behold, the first one that does. Here, though, of course, our facility, those banks are only about 23, 24 degrees at their most significant incline. So really, compared to many where things can get much more severe, it's a pretty great place to do something what these kids are doing. It's a great facility to come out and learn and practice and ride. Down into the grass when you're done. To your left. Nice. Wow. Look at the speed here. Up and out of the saddle, too. Cruising in. Nice. Into the grass to your left, please. Into the grass. You guys are done. One lap and you're done. Thank you. One lap and we're done. Yep. One lap and we're done. That means one time around the track. There you go. We need to kind of build like a wall over here or something, you know? Nice job, kids. Into the grass you go. Thank you. Nice riding today. All done. One lap. All done. Nice job. See if I can find Haldy out there. He's on the warm-up circle, I think. Yeah, there he is. Okay. Christian Miller says you're looking minty tonight, Haldy. Yeah, he gets the thumbs up. All right, very good. Yeah, he is. He's looking mint on the warm-up circle. Yes, indeed. Fresh and ready to race. All right, kids. We're going to evict all of you at once. Come on out, kids. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is a part of the program where I encourage everybody to... One more round of applause for all the kids, moms and dads, for making the trip out to the velodrome today. Thank you, one and all. Love to see so many of you here. We hope you'll come back for another edition of Kiddie Kilo at the track. What a great turnout. Yeah. So great to have so many kids here today. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, crawl competitors, start staging. Crawl, start staging. Crawl, get up there.
You heard her. Let's go. Get on the bikes. Get up there. Corner 4. What are you doing? Marymoor Crawl contestants are now invited to come to the track. Up into corner 4, please. Staging for the Marymoor Crawl in turn 4 now. QT food truck serving up fantastic food. They got the quesadillas. They got the burritos. Last time I talked about the chorizo, it was incredible. They sold out before the end of the night. It was that good. But they also got some fantastic shredded seasoned chicken I tried this evening. They got good stuff out of the QT food truck. And of course, right next door, we also have the Yummy Box, which has got this world-class katsu stuff going on. Last week it was that katsu chicken burger it was pretty mind-blowing, folks. Let me tell you, the food out of both these trucks is great stuff. You got today those chicken tender strips, whatever those were with the fries. Oh man, it's too much. It's too good. Come put in an order now. They're gonna be here all night with us. If you're on the stream, sorry I can't ship it to your door. My apologies. Try DoorDash or something. Beverage garden also open if you're ready to make your way on over. Support the velodrome with the purchase of Locust Ciders or Postdoc Brewery beer. We've got them pouring here tonight. 4 selections on tap, so we hopefully have something that'll match your palate for the evening. Purchases, again, in the beverage garden go right back into supporting our velodrome and all the programs we do here. As a reminder, if you do purchase a beverage in that area, you must stay within the fenced zone while consuming the beverage. Thank you. And the whistle sounded for the Marymoor Crawl. It's the slowest lap in track racing, indeed. The rest of the world tried to steal it. They called it the longest lap. They thought they were so clever. The longest lap. No, it's not. It's the Marymoor Crawl. It was invented here years ago. This is our kind of our fun novelty race that we do that we came up with a number of years ago, where riders are given no information about how long they have to stay out here behind the start line, this finish line, I guess in this case. They're going to be here at least 3 minutes is the tradition. And at some point after that time, we're going to ring the bell. Then they go for one fast lap around the track. Thanks to the fact that these are fixed gear bikes, no brakes. They pedal backwards, they go backwards. You pedal forwards, they go forwards. It's fixed gearing on these things. They're able to do these bike stands where they can keep the bike in place for a long time. Here's JC Pyle on the stream right up in front doing the no-hand track stand.
Can we get both JC and Will to go no hands? No, Will just said no. It doesn't. It's not going to happen today.
I mean, the juniors always make this. This is kind of one of their things of pride here because, again, it's the Marymoor Crawl. This is our tracks race. So our juniors are going to know how to do it really well. So they're here tonight to try to get to the front. And hey, there's cash on the line too, right? You get money to win, so why not? Try to pick up the win in the crawl this evening. We got a lot of kids still left in this field. I see Justin Captis, number 421 there in the white and the green. Right in the middle of the field has got a good line at that finish line. He's watching the bell ringer like a hawk. Put that hand on that bell, darn it.
And I believe the Men Keirin Heats should be staging. Men Keirin Heats. Heat 1 should be staging.
Carl Hofer, Scott Vincent, Mario Sandoval, Dave Chipchase, Andrew Carlberg, Henry Kaiser, Ludo Max for Heat 1. Into the warm-up circle. Heats posted on the infield if you'd like to check ahead of time, riders, or on velodrome.org/live. Kaiser makes his way up to the front. He's wearing his camouflage helmet. Henry Kaiser, number 18, also of the junior team, holding out the money, won't go for it. He's got to keep the hands on both on the handlebars. Oh man, Kaiser's got cash over here. Uh-oh, you got to go for something here. Okay, getting a good look again at our three closest to the line. All three juniors. There's the bell. They're all still in this thing. Justin's got a good run at the line. JC's got the bigger jump though, as he's got a nice position and he just runs at this thing. Number 18 is, or 418 is gone and away here. Justin Captis, number 421, the next closest, wants to try to catch back onto the rear wheel, but right now it's all JC all day long, all the way around the track. The crawl, all the way around. One of our juniors, it's JC Pyle. Adrian Parker checking in on the stream, asking about criterium racing this weekend in Redmond. The answer is no. But that's why we got this. This is just as cool. It's cooler even.
Not biased.
Yeah, no bias on my part. But no, there is not going to be a Derby Days criterium race this weekend. We have partnered with Derby Days today to make this sort of the featured racing event of the weekend of Derby Days. Next, it's Keirin Heats. Cat 1-2 men. First heat will be coming out track first. Hofer, Vincent, Sandoval, Shipchauze, Carlberg, Kaiser, and Max. Heat 2 on deck is Carl Cunningham, Chris Wilson, Alex Siegel, Matthew Brady, Matt Haldeman, Eric Waterman, Dave Richter. Heat 3, Andy Baker, Vern Cole, Kenny Williams, Nolan Adams, Brandon Russell, Mike Robson. Right now, Heat 1 queuing up and about ready to start. All right, coming up again here in just a moment, we're going to jump into these Keirins. The Keirin, sort of a fast finishing race. It's more of the sprinter side of it than the endurance side, as the race is only 4 laps long, and more than half of that distance is going to be helped out by a pacer, a bike at the front that kind of sets the pace for the field. They're not allowed to pass the front wheel of the pacer at any time, so our thanks to Scott Fowler, who's going to be taking us around on the big e-bike tonight. And our thanks, as always, to Greg Cycles, one of our longtime partners here at the Velodrome, for helping sort out a deal to help us get this beautiful e-bike. And they can help you, too, with your commuter bike or, of course, a brand new track, road, mountain bike, whatever you're looking for. Greg Cycles got 3 convenient locations around the area. They are the one for service and price and assistance for their customers. Check them out. Greg Cycles, our thanks to them. Coming on track, here comes the first heat. These are qualifiers to get into the major finals. You want to be at the front of this field to make it in. Our first 4 now on track for 4 laps behind the pacer. At the front of the lineup, it looks like number 23, Carl Hofer for Audi Racing, leads the lap with Scott Vincent and Mario Sandoval closing in behind him. Mr. New 200-meter track record, Andrew Carlberg, has got to be a favorite for the Keirin any night. He's here competing. That's number 12, Andrew Carlberg. Again, Monday here, he set the record at our track at 10.55 in the 200-meter. A 10.55 goes in the record books as the new fastest in the flying 200. So we're still celebrating that one. Watch him in this event and see how he plays it out. So gradually each lap, this pacer's picking up a little bit of speed, watching the speedometer, trying to be consistent and accelerating kind of consistently. A lap from where he is now, the pacer will pull off, and then it's the rider's race to compete. And bringing up the speed, you can just tell how much faster he is now and how fast the field is already. Now the big question is, because it's such a long way to the finish line, will Carl Hofer, the rider in red, stay on the pace? I'm guessing he will. Just kind of stay consistent, and the field will follow in on his wheel. In fact, he'll even start to push down a little bit harder, try to keep the pace up. You got to be in the top 2 to make it to the major final. For the top 6 places, got to be top 2 to make it to the major final. With the bell ringing and 1 to go, who will make it in? Whoa, watch the back of the field reposition big time. It's number 18, Henry Kaiser, brought a quick gear here tonight. He spins up quickly from the back of the field. But however, here comes the big guns. It's going to be Mario Sandoval, the rider in the leader's jersey, and Andrew Carlberg. 2 big favorites here in the Keirin tonight just have to be in top 2, and they're showing what they're going to be showing later tonight in that major final, as both of them look to be on their way to the minor final, Kaiser and Hofer. Number 24 receiving relegation for entering the sprinter's lane while occupied and the sprint was engaged. 24 relegated to the end of the sprint for entering the sprinter's lane while occupied while the sprint was engaged. Heat 2 will be coming up next. Cunningham, Chris Wilson, Alex Siegel, Matthew Brady, Matt Haldeman, Eric Waterman, David Richter are coming on the track next. They are already in the warm-up circle getting ready to go. It's Andy Baker, Vern Cole, Kenny Williams, Nolan Adams, Brandon Russell, Mike Robson on deck. They're followed by the Open Women Heat 1. 4 to go for our second heat to qualify. Top 2 right again in the major final. Second 2 advance to the minor final. In this group, we've got a rider I haven't seen out here on the track for a while. It's Carl Cunningham leading out the group right now, number 25, coming back this season. Behind him, we've got Chris Wilson. Alex Siegel, who I think would be another favorite for me to pick out of this group to go to the major final and compete, as he's got a very, very good turn of speed and sort of fashions himself a sprinter. The rider in the white is one to watch here. Matthew Brady, who had a great first race tonight, is the rider in fourth wheel in yellow. Finishing out the group is Haldy, number 34. Eric Waterman, number 19. And, of course, number 7, the winner of our first race, the Rocket, David Richter. No surprise, I'd also pick number 7 to be a favorite. He's got a long ways to ride from the back of this field to qualify, but he only has to be top 2. He doesn't win this thing yet. Wouldn't count out any of the riders at the front of this group either. I'm not sure where Cunningham's at in his season. Chris Wilson, we've seen the kind of speed he's capable of. But this is a top speed game. This is all about big gears and big top speed. I'm still going to be watching how number 42 moves, the rider in the third wheel spot, to see where he positioned himself as they come into the final lap. The bike will be leaving here on the back straight. It's now Cunningham's race to lead. The rider in black already starting to get a little more arrow and starting to pick up the pace. He starts to pull things apart a little bit. No surprise to see this kind of movement in the field. As I mentioned at the beginning, a favorite in this field is all the way at the back, and here he starts to reposition. There goes number 7 to the very front. The bell's ringing. He just needs to be top 2. The rocket is off and away. Siegel's got to chase down Matthew Brady, number 40, with a good response here. Siegel's got to do the 400-meter effort with Brady catching onto the wheel. Richter with the early sprint in this Keirin. Siegel's making his way back up, starting to catch that wheel. Oh, coming into the turn. It's going to be 3 riders coming out of the turn. Who's going to find the advance to the major final? Siegel and Richter go 1 and 2. Matthew Brady will ride again with Chris Wilson in the minor final, unofficially. Heat 3 coming on out. Open women, Heat 1 is on deck. Finch Linden, Emily Alexander, Leah Holslander, Jenna Lingwood, Heather Nielsen, Daniel Scoville, Aaron Bailey, and Oifi Doherty. Heat 2 after them. And here comes the third of our 3 heats. 2 more riders to advance to that major final, joining the ranks of our other top speed riders. This will all culminate into that exciting major and minor final later, where we'll have sort of sorted out our top riders. And the major final is not one you want to miss. Very exciting finish. Nolan Adams in the pink is the 4th rider. In the dark green is Brandon Russell. And the last rider in this lineup is Mike Robson. I'm at a bit of a toss-up. I'm not
This is going to come down to a lot of different factors and the way that these riders are planning to attack this thing.
If I had to pick a couple top riders out of the field, I'm certainly going to keep my eye on another rider in the dark green, much like we watched Richter in the last race. Watch Brendan Russell's positioning. He's the 5th rider in the line. On a race like this, despite his position at the very front, Andy Baker still has a good chance. He's shown great strength from the front like this. It's a tough order with this field on his back end, though. Mike Robson all the way at the back end could also make a pretty good move. Again, hard to pick. If you're on the stream right now, you're getting a good look at Andy Baker staring down the back of the pacer, number 4. I do not know how to call this one early. We're going to see how this one unfolds. Andy Baker's got the hard job of leading out this field. Kenny Williams starting to accelerate a little bit. At 1 to go. Starting to come in side by side. The move is coming from the riders at the back as expected. Number 6 is trying to find some room. Nolan Adams is trying to move up and he can't find the space to do so yet. Number 11 stuck as number 6 making the move. Here's Andy Baker from the very front. Mike Robson has got his way up there. Here goes Brandon Russell. No surprise, he's got some big power here from the back of the field. Andy Baker just looks like he can motor his way from the front of this field, no problemo. Brendan Russell making his way. Andy Baker will go 2nd across the line. Your minor final will be Nolan Adams and Mike Robson. Question on the stream there. Alex Jordan checking in saying, stupid question. It's not stupid. Where are these action cameras located? Yeah, we have different kinds of mounts. It depends on what we're doing. If you're looking at a race, a lot of times our riders are putting them on the handlebars. Kind of the most discreet place to put it is actually on the seat, right in behind the seat post. So a lot of the riders will put it there as well, kind of backwards facing. And then we also got one on the Keirin for this particular race on the Pacer bike. So on the back of the Pacer, so you can look back at the leader of the group. So that's kind of where those action cams are. We also have an on-field person walking around to get a view of the racing and the riders down on the field and kind of get a different look of that. That's all coming to us thanks to hooking up the GoPros for the streaming capabilities they have. So just using some standard bike mounted gear to do that. Thanks for the question. Thanks for the catch on the audio there. We'll see if we can get that sorted out. Sometimes things are a little tricky for us over here. 3 to go. This is our first of 3 heats for the open women competition. Again, 2 will move into the major final, 2 to the minor final. The rest are going to be done for the night. So the stakes are high here for the open women. Yeah, some of our riders have those cameras on them as well. In the last race, we had a view from Andy Baker, just depending on who's willing to sort of volunteer to have one of the GoPros on their bikes on any given night. It changes from evening to evening. Catherine Wade-Easley in the open women's field has one as well, so we get a view from her when she's in the race. 2 to go. That's Finch Linden, number 223, that's in the lead spot behind the pacer. Emily Alexander right behind her. Leah Holslander, the 3rd rider in this lineup, one of our juniors. From Portland, we got Jenna Lingwood, the 4th rider. Heather Nielsen, number 5, is in the 5th spot. And Danny Scoville with the leader's jersey for the season so far with that orange helmet is 6th in the lineup. Number 7 in the lineup is Aaron Bailey. And Doherty makes up our 8th rider. 1 to go. 2 of the open women will be moving on to the major final. Watch for that leader's jersey who's found a good wheel here. She's trying to follow Heather Nielsen through the move a little bit, trying to find position around the outside. Jenna Lingwood makes the move right down the middle, finds that spot in the lane and has her position now. 2 riders challenging through turns 3 and 4 as it looks like Scoville's starting to find the recipe for speed. The speedy youngster does it again, comes out of the field. It's going to be Lingwood and Scoville going 1 and 2. Beth Adams missed the question earlier. If you're on the stream or here in person, you can find the schedule for tonight. Velodrome.org/live is the full schedule. Preems are going on sometime later this month. We'll have a bunch of preems going on when we have another scratch with preems, which I do not have going on tonight. But we will have more of those opportunities coming up, as we do ask for our crowd preems sometimes to help make the preems on scratch nights really big. So thanks for the questions, Beth. We appreciate it. Here comes our second heat, trying to find 2 more riders to advance to the speedy major final for the open women. Heat 2 is Francis Sun is number 221 at the front. Catherine Wade-Easley, number 88, is the 2nd rider. Kelly Darlene, number 1, is the 3rd rider. Amara Edwards, number 4, in the 4th spot. Alicia Stotts is the 5th rider. She's wearing bib 206. Number 216 is McKenna Lease in the 6th spot in the lineup. Samantha Dora, number 218, is the 7th rider. And to make 8, Carolyn Thompson, number 215 for the Breakfast Racing Team. 3 to go. Predictions are tough in this field as well. Catherine Wade-Easley, number 88, the 2nd rider in the lineup, has been racing fast tonight. Number 1, always a dangerous rider. She's going to have to make a run at it here pretty soon. She's going to want to win this probably in a longer sprint format. In a field like this, too, number 4 has got a good opportunity. Number 206 has been racing well this season, Alicia Stotts. So a couple different riders I could see making it into that 2nd spot. As the pacer starts to speed up, a little bit of a break there for Francis at the front. It's now Francis' race to lead as they're on the lead spot, and the race is really fully underway. Catherine Wade-Easley starting to slip around the corner just a little bit. Darlene holding on to her card still. Edwards in the 4th spot. Nobody really shifting up yet. 1 to go. Top 2 to advance. 1 to go. Edwards finds herself next to Stotts, who's accelerating at the blue line. Now the move from Wade-Easley, who takes the lead spot coming out of turn 2. Here goes number 1. She's got a big turn of power going down the back straight. That junior's got lots of strength. She's going to put on this show right now. Who's going to find the 2nd spot? That's the question. It's still Catherine Wade-Easley chasing her down. Number 88, riding fast from the front. Edwards trying to hold on to the rear wheel. It's still Darlene around the corner going into the major final. Wade-Easley and Edwards. Wade-Easley will make it to the major final. Edwards and Stott will go to the minor. And here comes our second heat for the open women. Up next is the third heat. Alinda Lingwood, Lucy Gilchrist, Hillary Luther, Ella Dorband, Andy Jordan, Jane Barr, Bella Meha, and Becca Book. Now on track is heat 3. On deck, the Cat 3 men for their heats. Heat 1 is Andrew Lynch, Colin Stotts, Hyun Lee, Will Fowler, and Tyrell Lacey. Another 4-lap event here to qualify. This is at sort of the up and down of the Keirin. We get these nice lulls here where we get to watch the field slowly work itself into pace and then the exciting finish. And it only gets better as we go because, again, those finals are even more competitive, both the major and the minor finals, because just by the nature of how we do these qualifiers, they're tighter all the way across, so it's a little bit more exciting to see how they play out. So that great reward of the major and minor finals still coming up for the Keirin. We got lots more heats to get through, and then those fantastic finishes to conclude. Come around the corner, scene 3 to go. Again, our front rider there, Alinda Lingwood, draws position number 1 and follows the pacer. She'll be the first to face the wind as the pacer moves out of the way. If this has been your first time visiting the Velodrome, don't forget we're here every week in the summer months. We'd love to have you back for Friday night racing. We do this every Friday night, not just for Derby days. We're here all summer long, enjoying the beautiful outdoors, the Pacific Northwest. Marymoor Park, our good partners here at King County Parks, helping us put this together. This Velodrome has been here since 1974, was resurfaced, I believe, in 2005, and since then has just continued to grow and serve this community in as many ways as we can think of. Seeing 2 to go. Pacer leaves on the back straight this time. Number 22 has had a really strong recent part of her season. Lucy Gilchrist is certainly one to not forget about. Hillary Luther, the rider in the blue, I might call as an early favorite here watching this field. Becca Book finds herself in a tough spot, getting behind a bit of a breakup in the field. We saw what she could do in the first race tonight, pulling up 3rd place. So she's going to try to slot herself in for this one, trying to correct for that early error as there was a bit of space and gap. Now as the bell's ringing, got 2 lanes going down the track. Here comes 2:19. Andy Jordan on a big move as they take the lead spot with Becca Book on the wheel. And down the back straight, here comes Book now. It's Book, Gilchrist, and Luther. The 3 mentioned earlier found themselves at the front. 2 advance, it's 3 riders. Who's out of the major final? It's still Becca Book on the lead. She's a little bit high on the track, giving room underneath. Gilchrist trying to find her way in. It's going to be Luther with a second effort. Luther and Book. Here come the Cat 3 men. Smaller heats here because we had a few less registrants tonight, but still 3 heats for our remaining groups. Here comes heat 1. Andrew Lynch is the first rider in the lineup. Colin Stotts, your second rider. Hyun Lee in the middle. Will Fowler right behind him. And then at the tail end in the 5th position, Tyrell Lacey. These positions are determined at random before the race starts. So our riders lined up on the infield based on that random draw that happened earlier. Not by any decision or determination of their own power. Small group here again, so we're down to some smaller heats because there's less registrants in this category tonight. Still going to go by the same rulings, though. That means 1 rider's out of the Keirin today. 2 move up, 2 move to the minor final. Never mind. 2 go up, and that's it. 3 go home tonight on this one, so the stakes are still high. Only 2 qualify in. This is an event that, again, if you talk about a style or sort of an approach to racing, Hyun Lee, the rider right in the middle, would certainly be one who wants this kind of a race to be a forte for him, as he's got that sort of strong build and that sort of quick twitch muscle set that can really do well in a Keirin if he can get the right positioning. Will Fowler was really speedy in that first sprint tonight, and he's the rider in the 4th spot. But all 5 of these riders, I think, have different ways they could find a way to advance this evening. And I have a hard time pinning a favorite here as we come into this one. I think Andrew at the front, number 319, probably picked a good spot for him, as he's probably going to make a run at this. We'll see what he does as the pacer pulls out of the way, though. We haven't really had anybody try to reset the tempo. Sometimes when the pacer pulls out of the way, the first rider actually swings up and abandons. I don't see Lynch doing that yet as our rider from the Gene Johnson cycling team maintains his tempo. He does pull off the speed a little bit, though. This allows the field, you can see they're spinning out around him a bit, sort of wedging out as he's not on his pace right now. There's the bell. Colin Stotts finds the second line as 3:17 starts to take the front position. He's looking for a lane. He's now side by side with Lynch, who doesn't give him any sort of room. Hyun Lee wants to get up and out of the saddle to restart things up. The Broadmark rider wants to make this his race, and he's off and away. Will Fowler has his wheel, and he's not letting go. He brings with him all the way from the back of this group is Tyler Lacey. Now make the front three. The back half moves to the front. Two riders advance. Hyun Lee looking good at the front, and Fowler following the wheel has enough. All right, our next heat coming out is Heat 2. Heat Time Malakoff will be at the lead spot of this one. Scott Grinsell in the black and pink right behind him. Stan Douglas, number 360, says, "Get it going, folks. Come on." Friend that Flow Cycling team. Tyson Danielson, number 321, is the fourth rider, and Ben Flaum for Fell Swoop is your fifth rider in this group. Thanks again to Derby Days for their partnership this weekend. More fun going on in downtown Redmond until 10 p.m. tonight. So if you're getting a little bit, this is cool. I'm glad I came to Belgium. I'll come back another time. I think I'm good. I'm ready for a change of scenery. They're still going on downtown. You can jump on the shuttle and head back over, have a little bit more fun over there. Of course, we prefer you to stay out here, grab a beverage with us here in the beverage garden, grab some food at the food trucks, enjoy the racing, and then head back for more fun tomorrow. Derby Days is going on all day tomorrow until 10 p.m. They got the beverage garden out. They've got music going on all day. All sorts of great things going on in downtown Redmond. We're so glad to have Derby Days back again and this newly found partnership. Don't forget, Derby Days is here, ready to give out free swag. If you haven't gotten your free stuff yet, come over to the tents behind the grandstands over here next to the beverage garden. There's a tent ready to say hi and say thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out racing at the Velodrome. Here's some free stuff. This race is kind of rolling up to speed now, so we'll focus in on what's happening on the track as the Pacers bringing them up to top speed. Scene 2 to go. This is another one of those races that I just find is really hard to pick. Again, I might look at the rider right in the middle. If he can find the right combination of the one match he can burn in a race like this and put it all together, this is a good one for Stanley Douglas. Itai Malakoff, a junior at the very front, is another strong overall rider with good race sense. See if he can find a way to put this together tonight. The move's starting to come from the middle of the field now. It's actually the rider in blue. Tyson Danielson starts to reset things. He's definitely a strong contender in this Cat 3 field. With the bell ringing, he brings along the powerhouse of Ben Flaum, the rider in black and orange, and there goes Stanley Douglas trying to hold on to his wheel. It's now going to be Tyson Danielson from the front. Two riders have the spot behind him. The advantage goes to the riders in the second spot if they can find the acceleration needed. Douglas is trying to pick up the speed, trying to get three riders into this turn. May not be able to find it. It's going to be Danielson come around the corner first. Still the sprint for second. Ooh, it's going to be Flaum in the black and orange. All right. Cat 4 men, your first heat is on deck. Here comes the last heat for Cat 3 men now onto the track. This is Peter Snowblane, the first rider in this lineup. Wade Schultz, number 330, the second rider. We saw what he did in his first race tonight. Peter Gilchrist, number 305, in the third spot. Merrick Gallagher right behind him, two juniors backed up to one another. Andy Bailey, number 327, is the fifth rider. James Campbell Harris is the sixth rider in the lineup. Talking again about style of riders. Certainly a race that the rider in sixth position is aiming to try to get into a big final for is going to be Campbell Harris. But I'm looking at Wade Schultz as just too fast of a rider right now for this field. I think he's just going to be able to ride away when it's his time to do so. So the rider in second wheel, I might have the early ride in for him. The question is who's going to be on his wheel or who's going to be in the right spot to follow that attack. They might be the one in the best position as the race is closing. We'll see. 3 to go. A couple more laps for these riders to figure things out. Again, 327, our out-of-towner all the way from Georgia with that interview later. Again, thanks for making the trip up here to this area and taking the time to visit our Velodrome community. We hope more of you out there that are across the country racing in the corners of this, well, wherever corners you can find velodromes. There's not a ton of them left. In fact, I do want to point out tonight we are the only in the Pacific Northwest on the U.S. side of the border remaining. So, and you can tell we put a lot of love and care into this thing. We work hard to maintain and build this great community. Two to go. On the back straight, we're going to take the pacer off as Snowman's starting to give a little bit of room here. He's looking around to see what's happening behind him before going on too much of an attack. He's going to want to go from the front most likely, but maybe a reset incoming. Indeed, he starts to reset the pace a little bit. He's waiting for Wade to move. He expects Wade to speed up. Indeed, Wade Schultz, number 330, just goes right into his pace, his tempo. And who grabs the wheel is Peter Gilchrist. That might be the best spot in the race. 305, trying to hold on. Can he do so? Because that might be his ticket right into second place just like that. You just have to follow Wade. Down the back straight, it's Peter Gilchrist. Wade Schultz riding away from the field. Snoblin's trying to get back up there with a couple riders with him. As they round the corner, it's Wade Schultz and Peter Gilchrist all the way around the track. These two got this one figured out pretty early to advance to the final. Here comes the Cat 4 men. We got 3 heats coming on the track. Now, heat 1. Indigo Vining, the first rider in this group, number 403. Also riding for the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team. Right behind him, 408, is Patrick Sheedy. Wilson Turk, number 414. It's got the blue and the green on in the third wheel spot. In the red is Mike Westover, number 433. Jacob Luna wearing the colors of Aerotech Racing, number 432. Kevin Ulrich, 410, is the 6th rider. And Justin Captis, 421, in the white, is the last rider in the lineup. And as another reminder about safety here at the track, we ask participants on every side of this event, whether you're watching or one of our racers, to pick a side during the race. We do not cross the racing surface when racing is engaged. Thank you very much for your cooperation with this important safety rule. For the safety of all here, pick a side and stay to it. Thank you very much. 3 to go in our first heat. Very much like the Cat 3s, we're only allowing 2 of these riders to continue racing tonight. So you got to earn your stripes here in the Cat 4 men this evening. Top 2 race again for the major final. Everyone else goes home licking their wounds, getting ready for the points race. That just means you're more fresh for the points race, let's be honest. There's no prestige in the Keirin anyways, right? Yeah. Put it all into the points race. As I talked to someone up here who loves racing Keirins. 2 to go. And your pacer now pulling off. And now the kids are leading it out. Cat 4 men in their first heat. 2 riders to keep racing tonight in the Keirin. Indigo Vining just on the pace now. Patrick Sheedy on the second wheel spot. Wilson Turk fans out a little bit, trying to find a lane as he comes up towards the front at 1 to go. Here comes Turk, number 414, alongside. He's bringing Westover with him. Aerotech Racing's got Jacob Luna trying to hold onto the wheel, and maybe he can find a way into this thing. Justin Captis says, don't leave me out of this thing. Number 421's got a big move going. He ramps it up out of turn 2, and boom, look at him go. He's like, they're not even moving. Justin Captis has got lots of speed tonight. It's only one of the rider go with him. Who will it be? Oh, Patrick Sheedy's trying to get up there too. One of the juniors coming around. Indigo Vining. It looks like it's going to be Captis and Sheedy. And that'll do it for our first heat. Our second heat on the warm-up circle getting ready to start next. On deck, heat 3. Elite minor and major are posted. That's the Cat 1-2 men, titled Elite underneath the live folder. You can also come over to the TV to check that out. Again, to confirm the minor and major start lists for Cat 1-2 men is now posted. The draw is also in there, so it is listed in order for your start. What a team we got running this operation, huh? Out here on the track right now, our second heat. Monmeet Ranu, 423 for the Jerry Baker Juniors in the lead spot. Bernie Yee right behind him for Diana Racing. David Gilchrist is wearing 499. He's the third rider in that lineup. JC Pyle, the winner of the crawl, wearing the leader's jersey for the season in his category, is the fourth rider. Parker Stanford right behind him. And the last rider in the lineup, number 412, Jason Fuller. And it's nights like this where we got to call up our friends from Stanley and get even more cups. The beverage garden is hopping tonight. We got pours of Post Stop Brewing and Locust Ciders. You don't want to miss out on them. We just might blow a few this evening. We got 4 on tap for you. Come on over and join us before the evening's out. Purchases of the beverage garden must stay in the beverage garden. And, of course, as a reminder, all purchases go right back into supporting the Velodrome. Also like to take this moment to thank another one of our sponsors. It's Broadmark Realty Capital over there in turn number 1. They give a huge amount of support to this Velodrome. They're also a sponsor of one of our teams, regular competitors here annually. And big thanks to the team over at Broadmark Realty Capital for their financial support and partnership in this community. If you know of somebody looking for an opportunity to sponsor and be a part of an active sporting community here in the Pacific Northwest, we just might be that connection you're looking for. You can find out more about sponsorship opportunities through the website at velodrome.org. Search for sponsorship inquiries, or just get in contact with any of our staff people. We'll get you in contact with who you need to speak with. All the way from the back of the field, things are starting to get swapped around here. Only 2 get to ride again as the bell's ringing. Bernie Yee digging deep here, 407. Puts on a big move. The red helmet of Monmeet Ranu also trying to get into this race. He found Bernie Yee's wheel. He's trying to hold on. JC Pyle also looking strong tonight. They're coming side by side. Here goes Pyle, the winner of the crawl, showing his speed. Monmeet Ranu is trying to hold on to the wheel of Bernie Yee to make it into the final. JC Pyle ran in the corner in your leader's jersey, making his way on. Bernie Yee holds on for it. Dyna Racing, 407. And upcoming next will be the final of 3 heats for the Cat 4 men. And then we get to go into the majors and the minors. I believe we'll start with the minor final for the Cat 1-2 men. They're on deck now, followed by the major final. There may need to be a quick swap for battery on the Pacer between this race and the start of the minors for the Cat 1-2 men. So just heads up, there might be a small technical pause for a battery swap on the e-bike. Heads up. On the track right now, our final heat for the Cat 4 men. 2 riders to advance to the major. Number 447 is Ray Brown at the front of the field. Anton Ernishev is number 429, the second rider. Alex Eckel, number 405. In the Red of Audi Racing is the third rider. Dan Pham, number 417, is the fourth in the lineup. Right behind him is Henry Armstrong, 456. And then finally, David Magidson, the last rider, 435. Also in the black and blue of Jerry Baker Juniors. Lots of juniors in our Cat 4 field. Again, there's over 40 riders on the junior team, and they're always looking for new talent, new athletes, new folks to join the community. Ever growing for those riders. You can find out more about them at jerrybakerjuniors.org or through our website, velodrome.org. More information about that team and opportunities for joining or supporting. Already had their big lapathon where they raised a lot of money, trying to send a lot of juniors to nationals competition, where, yes, indeed, there are young riders representing you at our national competitions. So proud to send many of our youth that direction, as well as adult riders that represent us as well. And we partner with them to help get them there for competition during that time of year. 2 more riders to advance. Down the back straight off the Pacer goes. Ray Brown had the lead spot and he's holding on to it. Aerotech Racing at the front. The field's kind of wedged out behind him as Ray's got the bell. Trying to win this thing from the front. You got to be in the top 2. Big move from Mike Westover, number 405. And not a surprise to see Magnuson find that wheel. And the two of them trucking along really well down the back straight, sort of separating themselves. At 200 meters out, they're already pretty far out in front of the rest of this field. And here are your two to advance. Westover and Magnuson looking strong all the way around the track. The e-bike going to be taking a quick swap for battery potentially, or... All right, got the thumbs up. All right, very good. Either way, QT Food Truck still here serving up some fantastic food. They're quick and delicious. You got burritos. They've got street tacos, all sorts of different toppings on it. I've tried both chorizo and the chicken. They're both ace. Let me just put it that way. Right next door, Yummy Box. They're serving up a good variety of foods and also quick and great delicious offerings. Orange chicken, great katsu chicken, and good food to try. So get on over and put in your order. Sorry for the confusion on the call. Alex Ackel crossing the line first, not Westover. That's 4:33. I had a missed call. It's 4:05. Alex Ackel to advance alongside of David Magnuson. My apologies. All right, coming onto the track, we move right into the minor and major finals. Here are the minor finalists for the Cat 1-2 men. Now, again, we get the treat of watching the major final here shortly where the top finishers from each of their heats will ride again. These are our third and fourth place riders. It still will make for a more competitive race than before. These riders should be more closely matched. We'll see how they choose to ride this one out with Matthew Brady, number 40, taking the lead spot. Mike Robson in the polka dot for the 10-speed hero team is the second rider. In the red for Audi Racing is Carl Hofer in the third spot. Chris Wilson in green for Fount Cycling Guild, number 27, is the fourth rider in that lineup. Scott Vinson, the fifth rider in the group with the dark blue, number 16. And finally, number 11, Nolan Adams will be your sixth rider in this lineup. This is for seventh place on down in the overall standings of the Keirin. Coming up next, the major finals for the Cat 1-2 is the top 6 places in the Keirin race. Then we'll get into the open women minor final. Pace is still now just bringing up to speed. You find yourself enjoying anything about tonight, don't forget, if you want to give us quick support, you're not watching the stream right now, if you could go to the stream and leave a thumbs up and a subscription, that would really help us out. You can find that, the schedule for tonight, live results, all at the website, velodrome.org/live, where you too can put in your support for the Velodrome and follow along with the racing action every week. We do this every Friday night, so whether you're here or not, you can still tune in and check out what's going on. Pace is out of the way. It's Matthew Brady leading the race now. He keeps on his pace. He's got Mike Robson holding onto the wheel pretty well. The rider, the polka dots, in a good position. I'm going to be watching for how both Brady rides this from the front and Adams from the very back. That'll set the pace for this one. At 1 to go. Brady's keeping it really strong at the front. Doesn't want to lose this position now. Round in the corner. Mike Robson's got a good spot. He's leaving a little bit of running room. Now he's going to try to come at it. Chris Wilson also trying to re-accelerate things from the outside edge. Here comes Robson up and out of the saddle for 10-speed hero. He's going to come alongside Brady. It's now rider number 9. Mike Robson at the lead of this thing. They're all at top speed. They're going to fan out around the corner. It's Mike Robson on the lead of this lap. Into the sprint. It's Robson still holding on for it. Mike Robson. Ho-ho. Chris Wilson was chasing it down. Nolan Adams had a run at it. Carl Hofer also in the mix, but again, he'll have to go to the polka dot colors of 10-speed hero. Mike Robson with a great race here in our minor finals. Makes it fast and fun. Here comes the major final. The top of the Keirin competition for the Cat 1-2 men. Number 7, it's Dave Richter, riding for the Fount Cycling Guild. Right behind him, number 4 for the Broadmark Realty Capital Team, Andy Baker. It's the Laser from the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team. Henry Kaiser, number 18, is the third rider. Alex Siegel, the fourth rider, another rider from the Broadmark Realty Capital Team. He's your fourth in the lineup. Right behind him, the Coefficient of Speed, represented by Andrew Karlberg. Got the red helmet on, and he has been speedy this week. And finally, Brandon Russell from the Fount Cycling Guild will finish off our lineup. We got Fount on the front and the back. 2 riders from the Broadmark Realty Team, and of course, 1 Jerry Baker Jr., 1 from the Coefficient of Speed. All with many ways to win a race like this. When it comes down to top speed, we've only got a few people that can really pin it on as a favorite. Absolutely at the top of that one, number 12. If he can find his position and his timing, he is a tough one to beat when it comes to top speed. If he's got himself where he needs to be, Number 12 is the one to watch, both where he races, how he races this thing, and just the amount of power he's going to be able to put out at the end of this race. Alex Siegel, who's right in front of him, he's got a good wheel because maybe the other fastest top speed rider out there right now. Alex Siegel right in front of him. That's a great wheel for Andrew to be on. At the lead of the group, too, of course, Richter has been incredibly speedy this time of the season. Number 7, hard to beat at any phase, at any kind of race. He's just overall so strong. So Richter's going to also be one to at least be a conversation for top 3 if I had to take the guess now. As the pacer leaves the way, it is Richter at the lead. He's got a great competitor on his wheels. Andy Baker is going to watch to see if he can make a jump. He knows that there's lots of action behind him. He keeps watching and waiting. They're looking over their shoulder. Who's going to make the jump? Siegel's trying to wait. 1 to go. It's the junior that'll make the first jump. He'll mix things up. Number 18 takes the opening. He's going to take jump here early. The laser on the early lead of the lap. Down the back straight. Here comes the second engaged speed. It's still Karlberg way on the outside. Has a lot of room to make up. Siegel trying to find room on the outside. Richter with tons of top speed. They're going to fan out to the finish line, folks. Here we go. To the line, down the middle. It's going to be Baker with the bike throw unofficially. Barely over number 7. Then Karlberg, third across the line, the unofficial order. So fast from the front of the field that Richter and Baker made it unpassable by the sprinters. If you go that fast from the front, that is one great way to race a Keirin. Holy moly. Onto the track now comes the minor final for the Open Women. On deck, the major final. In our minor final for the Open Women, these 6 competitors going out for, again, 7th and down in this competition. Erin Bailey draws for the front position for the Breakfast Racing team, a teammate, Ella Dorband, right with her. Lucy Gilchrist for the Jay Baker Juniors, number 22. Alicia Stotts, 206 in the green. Heather Nielsen, number 5 for Center Cycles in blue. And Amara Edwards for the Greg's Trek Racing team is starting to reposition things. They're swapping it around in there. There's no rules against this, as riders can reposition, especially in these slow laps. If riders are looking for that, they just have to kind of move up and force their way in. If someone lets them down to the sprinter's lane, then so be it. As long as no one's passing that front wheel of the pacer. Bailey on the front of the lap still, as the rest of the field has mixed up significantly. We saw how close a couple of these riders came to making it into the major final. Both at the back of this field, actually, number 4 and number 22, both got very close to making it in and are going to try to really figure out a solution here. A little bit of vengeance on the minor final if they can find it. Heather Nielsen on the outside lane. A bike back from our leader, Erin Bailey, who still has the front position. Now the sweep coming from the right side and the back. Stott still staying low, following the wheel of Nielsen. As the bell's ringing, Edwards pulling out and out, trying to get around the 2 leaders, with 5 now taking the front of the race. It's Heather Nielsen at the 1 to go mark. Alicia Stotts trying to hold onto her wheel, doing so, starting to slop into the front part of this race, bringing with her Edwards and Gilchrist side by side, the 2 names I mentioned earlier that weren't able to quite figure out how to get into that major final. Still from the front as Nielsen's just driving the pace. Here comes Stotts and Gilchrist. Stotts in the green, Gilchrist trying to come around the right side. Stotts at the blue line, still finding the speed. Gilchrist trying to accelerate. Gilchrist and Stotts. It'll be Stotts first, Gilchrist second across the line. The major final on the warm-up circle about to come onto the track for your Open Women. Position number 1, bib number 1, Kelly Darlene at the front of this field. Right behind her is number 9, Hillary Luther. Jenna Lingwood makes up the 3rd spot, number 13. Number 10 is Danny Scoville. Becca Book is number 3, riding for the Shadow Elite team. And finally, Kenmore Velo Cycling Center Cycles, Catherine Wade Easley, number 88, your major finalists and the top 6 already in the Keirin. Let's see how they sort themselves out in this fast and furious finish. We've seen what Lingwood can do from just about anywhere on this track so far. Able to just apply power from a great distance away and pull away from the field. Scoville with this really great top speed, the rider in the 4th spot. National champion in Kelly Darlene in time trials. We know she's got great power, and she put on a good show getting into this race. Again, a tough one to call as we get into this particular event. The 2 riders at the back have also been making lots of moves in their scratch race, both very capable of the top speed looking for in this Keirin. Enjoying yourself here? We hope you are. If you're having a good time and would like to have an opportunity to try this yourself, we also have some courses called Try the Track, where you can sign up for just an hour out here on the track with our staff. The $10 for adults, free for kids, and it includes the rental bike, so we'll get you on a bike ready to go for track racing. You just got to bring a helmet and some athletic gear to match. We'll teach you about the basics and give you a chance to try it out. So if this looks like a great time and you might want to try some more of it yourself, we are the place and the hookup you're looking for, velodrome.org, where you can sign up for all the classes and offerings we have here at the Velodrome and check our calendar for all events. Pacers out of the way. It's now Kelly Darlene. This is in our major final for the Open Women. The juniors got the lead spot, and she's going to hold on to it. Hillary Luther on the wheel, sitting in a great position, as well as Jenna Lingwood in the 3rd wheel spot. Some repositioning happening behind Jenna, though, as riders are trying to figure out where to be with the bell ringing. Jenna comes up and out of the lane, forcing Becca Book to move a little up track. Fanned out all behind number 1, who still has enough power to hold it at the front of the race. I can see some riders buying their time right now, trying to wait for the full speed. Kelly Darlene re-accelerates herself up and out of the saddle. Her best way to win this, she thinks, is just stay at the front and go as fast as I can. Here comes Lingwood and here comes Scoville. 2 of the speedsters called out earlier. Round in the corner. Lingwood razoring it at the blue line. Oh, Scoville making a run at it. Oh, and a throw for Lingwood. Think she had enough either way. Scoville, very impressive for our young rider, just about taking it at the line with great speed out of turn 4. Coming up next, we have our major finals for the Cat 3 men on deck, the major final for the Cat 4 men, and then we go into the world of points racing. That'll be the final series of races tonight. If you're wondering, look at the clock and say, what more is going on here? Well, we're about to be in that final third of the action today. We've got 4 points races coming up for you. 1 for each of our fields signing up today. And of course, food trucks, beverage garden, all still open. The party's still rolling here. All right, coming on the home straight here. Again, our major final for the Cat 3 men. Ben Flom leads this field, the rider in the black and orange. On his wheel, Will Fowler for the Jerry Baker Juniors team. Also for Jerry Baker Juniors is Peter Gilchrist. Wade Schultz in the black and green, number 330. Hyun Lee for the Broadmark Realty Capital team. And it's 321 is Tyler Danielson of the Gene Johnson cycling team. These riders making it in here by advancing as top 2 in their heats. So only the fastest allowed to keep racing the Keirin for the Cat 3 men tonight. Who's got this one? Again, I have to pick the early winner of Wade Schultz. Just overall top speed right now. Seems like it's on a slightly different level. But if I had to look at the rest of this field, it's a mixed bag. I still love to pick my guy in the Broadmark Realty team, Hyun Lee. Second to last on that lineup is a very powerful rider, and he knows how to race a Keirin. Something he's going to show up and be very proud to do on a night like tonight. Ben Flom from the front's going to be powerful, but he's got a big ask here to win from the front against this field. Will Fowler leaves a little bit of room. He's got to find the wheel again. He does so quickly. As we hit the home straight, top positions in the Keirin tonight for the Cat 3 men. Hitting the home straight. Ben Flom on the lead of the race. Here goes Wade Schultz. Race underway. We still have racing underway. Track is clear. Wade Schultz on the lead of the lap. We'll see what this is going on here. Wade taking the win here today as Ben Flom wants to find the second place finish. We're going to take just a moment to check in on our rider who's down. as it would be an ill form to continue on. Riders, Peter Gilchrist took a bit of a spill there. We're going to make sure he's okay and check in with our crew, and we'll be back with some more racing in a bit here as we check in on our rider. Thank you. Obviously, as a contact sport, the risk is always there. This is the best time for me to talk about that. Generally speaking, this is one of the safest forms of competitive cycling you can have. No breaks and no coasting means usually very consistent movements from our riders. It makes for very safe competition, but we're obviously concerned right now for Peter, and took a bit of a spill there. We're checking on him as he seems like he needs a little bit of attention and treatment. So we are pausing the racing action for a little bit to treat and work with our rider. We'll take care of him here over the next minute or two, and we'll tune back in on the microphone once we get a little closer, getting the updates. Thank you. All right, well, we're thankful that Peter's up and moving, and again, not something we see on a weekly basis here at the track, but we will take care of and make sure we follow up with Peter and family, and always not something we like to see here. We have one more Keirin to race, as we're going to be ready to start that in just a moment. Thanks for your patience, everybody, and obviously we all know to prioritize the safety and the well-being of our athletes here at the Velodrome. Up next, the Cat 4 men for their major final in the Keirin. Then we're going to move into the points races for the rest of our categories tonight. Major final for the Cat 4 men coming in next. The fun continues. We've got a few more races here tonight. Our weekly race series, Friday Night Racing. Very typical for us to do 3 sets of races for our categories on one night. So we're going to bring out the, again, the last of our Keirins, the Cat 4 Men major final. Then we go into those points races. Great time if you've been enjoying the view from corners 1, 2, or maybe over there in corner 4 and haven't made your way over to pick up a food order yet or jump into the beverage garden for a little bit. We'd certainly love to see you over here on the home straight. QT food truck over here serving the burritos and the quesadillas and the street tacos. We got the Yummy Box serving all the great takes on their Asian fusion. Great food out of the bowls there. The Yummy Box and QT food truck both ready to take your orders. Serving great food through the rest of the night. If you're online tuning in, sorry I can't get you the food, but we'd appreciate if you're enjoying the stream or the quality of the production we bring to you, don't forget to leave that thumbs up and that subscribe on the channel. We are really close to 1,000 subscribers. We'd love your help getting there. If you're in person, YouTube can be found through the link at velodrome.org/live. Our channel is JB Velodrome. You also find us online at our other socials at JB Velodrome, Instagram and Twitter. And you can look for Jerry Baker Fan Zone on Facebook. The thumbs up getting from the officials crew. We're ready to start this Cat 4 Men major final. So they're getting out of the warm-up circle and set to start. All right, and our final heat of racing tonight in the Keirin. It is not a heat. This is now up to the finals. This is the last race. The final 6 in the Cat 4 Men. Justin Captis, number 421, for Premier Racing at the lead spot. 435 for the Jerry Baker Juniors, David Magidson. J.C. Pyle, also for the Jerry Baker Juniors, is the 3rd rider. And one more from the Jerry Baker Juniors is Patrick Sheedy, your 4th rider in the group. Alex Ackel, number 405 for the Red of Audi Racing, is the 5th rider. And finally, Bernie Yee for Dyna Racing in the 6th spot. We saw how 421, if you remember back in his qualifying race, how strong he looked compared to the competition. I would pick him as a favorite just based on the top speed he was able to pull out of turn 2 back in his qualifying heat. The junior on his wheel is a very good rider, but I'm also watching that leader's jersey hunting his upgrade for Cat 3 and also looking great here at this part of the season. Found a few victories tonight already between the crawl and winning his qualifier, or getting into the qualifier, I should say. Let's see what those 3 do at the front half of this field. And I would say the remaining 3 all have good chances as well. And as Patrick Sheedy's on J.C. Pyle's wheel right now, we've got both Ackel and Yee to round things out in our field of 6. They got one more lap with the pacer. One more look at him before the race is really underway. I might have pegged him as a favorite, number 421 at the very front, but that's a hard place to win a Keirin from. He's going to have to he has to reset it entirely now, or he's committed for 600 meters of top speed and guarding that front from the rest of this race, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. He's still at about 75% top speed as they hit the home straight, waiting for the full attack to come. It's one more to go for the major final for the Keirin Cat 4 Men. Justin Captis still holding on to that front spot. David Magnuson on his wheel. Leader's jersey, J.C. Pyle trying to move into position. Alex Ackel of the Audi team has moved up quickly as well. Here comes the sprint down out of turn 2. It's going to be J.C. Pyle with the biggest move so far tonight for this group. Pyle makes a good run at it down the back straight. He hits turn 3 at the lead spot. He's gone. He's away. Wearing that Rider of the Year jersey for a reason. J.C. Pyle. Magnuson flying in for a quick second place, just ahead of Justin, who had that tough spot of leading the field all the way around, still holding on for a top 3 spot. Shows you how strong he is. Points racing coming up for the Cat 1-2 Men. All right, the track is open. Let's bring Cat 1-2 men to the rail, please. Cat 1-2 men to the rail for the points race, please. Talk a little bit about the points race when they're in the neutral, as there's a little bit more to follow along in this particular event. We're going to hold just for a second to cross with our rider here. One sec before we start. Thanks. All right, thanks everybody. Points racing for Cat 1-2 men, about ready to start. And there's a sign for the neutral for the points race. It's a 6x5 format for the Cat 1-2 men. Points racing is a good combination of top speed and endurance. It requires you to think, too, because we got to do some math. That's right. You win this race by getting more points than other riders. How do you get points? Well, you get points on certain sprint laps dictated by the format. In this case, it says a 6x5, which means that it's 6 sprints separated by 5 laps for a total of 30 laps in this race. First bell for a sprint will be at 26 to go, and then again every 1 and 6 after that. The front riders on those sprints will get 5 points for the first rider, 3 points for the second rider, 2 points for the third rider, and 1 point for the fourth rider. If by chance you go all the way around the track and catch the field, you get 20 points. If the field goes all the way around the track and catches you, sorry, you lose 20. Rider with most number of points at the end, of course, is our winner. Don't forget, double points on the final sprint. And the opening lap will go to the coefficient of speed. Andrew Carlberg, number 12, opens things up. And although he's got lots of top speed, the field is not going to respect this attack too much. I think we know how long this will last for. It's still fun, though. Carlberg rolling around the track at top speed here on this first lap. Openings up quick. Number 12. Kaiser wants to join on the attack, so the laser's off and away. He takes this as an invitation for chaos. And we're going to send it down now to the field to talk with Chase, who's got Jenna Lingwood, our winner from the Keirin for the Open Women.
Alrighty, so we're here with Jenna Lingwield. So she was our winner for the major Keirin finals, all the way from Portland. And we've heard, unfortunately, your home track of Alpenrose is closed. How are you liking this one? Is it much different from Portland?
Yeah, this track's really great. The field is so fast. We have such a big field, 25 people, I think. Yeah, it's awesome. You can just go fast all the time, basically. So it's cool.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on your win, and thank you.
All right. Thanks again for making the big trek up all the way here, Jenna. The little secret there, of course, is this is the second home for the Lingwoods, who did a lot of racing, have done a lot of racing here at this track over the years. Let's just put it that way. But yes, our closest neighbor, Alpenrose, down in the Portland area, closing down pretty recently, means that our Portland riders have been displaced for the time being. Glad to host them here whenever they're able to make the ride up. Nice job, number 12, taking the bow. Very showman-like of number 12 there. As we come around and look back at what's going on in the race, we still got Kaiser off the front getting the bell. He wants the first 5 points of this Cat 1-2 race. Why not? One of our youngest competitors out here, Brandon Russell. Wily as ever off the front, looking for any opportunity he can to scrap up some points. Is going to go chase down the junior rider. He's got lots of speed as he hits the back straight. He's on the way for 5. Let's see what happens behind him. Kaiser still off the front, enough to hold on for 3 most likely. No. Kaiser still trying to get the 3. It'll be Kaiser for 3. Oh! Richter for 2. And Sandoval for 1. Your leader unofficially with 5 points. Brendan Russell, number 6, off the front and still in the attack. The solo move for the Found Cycling Guild rider. Number 7 just dangling off the front. He's ready to come back into the field, it looks like. He has 2 points, good for 3rd right now, as Andy Baker, number 4, comes flying over the top. He wants to go on the attack, maybe catch down Mr. Russell as quickly as he can. He looks behind and sees he's got Chris Wilson in pursuit. 23 to go. Brandon Russell, number 6, still on the solo break. Points racing requires good top speed, but also recovery, as after you make those big sprints, you got to get that oxygen back in the system and ready yourself for the second attempt. Brendan Russell put in a big effort to get where he is. He's just trying to maintain long enough to get more points out of his effort. But now I'm starting to see a little bit of energy falling off from his cadence right now, as it's likely that the field's starting to catch. In fact, as he hits the home straight, he says, yeah, I think you're right. Let's get above the blue line and get back in on this and recover for the next effort. 22 to go. Ludo Max of the Beat Cycling team, number 35, will be the final nail in the coffin to catch Russell, who now comes back into the back of the field, and everyone sits up for a moment to catch their breath again. Lots of sprints left to go. 5 opportunities, 4 points. Chris Wilson, good one to watch here tonight for a race like this. He's always dangerous to get off the front of this field and go on these long attacks. Wilson now, number 27, speeding away for the field at 21 to go. I dare say he still has more to give, as he's just getting away from the field kind of sneakily now. It's encouraging a few more to really try to sprint him down. Matthew Brady out of the field for Koss Racing in the yellow and orange makes his move. Richter, happy to follow that wheel, brings with him Nolan Adams, who found a wheel to attach himself to and challenge for 5. Here comes Richter around the corner, trying to find more points. Richter and Adams. Adams for 5, Richter for 3, Brady 2, and Wilson 1. Your unofficial leader is in a 3-way tie right now. We got 3 riders tied for the lead. Brendan Russell, Dave Richter, Nolan Adams, all with 5 apiece. Next closest rider with 3 points is Kaiser in 4th. Matthew Brady with 2 in 5th. 2 riders with 1 is Chris Wilson and Mario Sandoval. We'll see how close that is to the records here a little bit later. Off the front right now, we got a break of 3 with Ludo Max leading the effort. He's got Mario Sandoval and Carl Hofer willing to do some work with him. Saying 18 to go. Sandoval trying to estimate where the field is between his legs. He sees them exit the turn and sees that he's got about 50 meters on them. Not a huge gap right now. The field with mixed results now, though, as there's some inconsistency in how the field is maneuvering themselves behind the lead group. We see some riders swinging up and slowing down and reestablishing tempo kind of over and over again. So the drive is not there yet to catch, leaving a little bit of gap still. Our leaders looking well organized, though. They're trying to pull away a bit. 17 to go. Ludo looks back over his shoulder to see he still has his partners and the field sitting a bit wide. So he's happy to see that, and they'll stay engaged in the sprinters lane. Back in the field, Mike Robson taking the jump out of the action and into the sprinters lane. He's done sitting in that field. He wants to go catch these guys, and he might be able to do it before the bell, but he's got a long ways to go. Our leader is getting the bell on the home straight. Carl Hope for the first rider across the line, the rider in red. Next time around, 5 points to the leader. Robson and Adams both in the chase in that bridging move. Neither one, I think, on pace to lead or catch the leaders yet. So we'll keep our eyes here on their leaders as Ludo Max takes his turn, pulls out of the way. These riders aren't really sprinting against each other. You'll notice that they're going to stay in single file because they know they're a team now. They've formed new bonds. If they can stay away from the field, they get all the points and nobody else gets anything. Sandoval for 5, 3 for Hofer, 2 for Ludo Max. Here comes the single point for Robson, who made that big move a lap ago to break from the field, but he'll sit back into it now that he's spent that energy. About halfway through this points race now as we just got past that halfway point on the laps cards. Let's see how our points are looking. My call's still unofficial. I have several riders at 5 points apiece, but one has pulled ahead is Mario Sandoval with 6 in the lead alone. He's ahead of Brennan Russell, Dave Richter, and Nolan Adams, all with 5. All tied for second now. Both Carl Hofer and Henry Kaiser have 3. Chris Wilson and Mike Robson have 1. Ludo Max and Matthew Brady have 2. Those points seem to line up with the official record. Big move here from number 4 as the field got shattered a bit a little while ago. They've started to come back together again, but it's Andy Baker that gets out of that effort and gets all the way back up here to the lead group. Make it a group of 4 now at the front of this field. At 12 to go. Baker and Sandoval watching each other and allowing Hofer and Max to ride away a little bit. So a little bit of a inside of this mini field, we have some tactics going on. Bells ringing. The 4 off the front are the only ones going to be getting points in this sprint, and Hofer and Max look like they're just going to ride away from this thing. The next closest rider with the leader's jersey on, then it's number 4. Those 4 riders off the front as Sandoval's quickly trying to make his way back up to the front. Andy Baker's racing against Sandoval as much as he can. They're fighting over that Rider of the Year jersey. I'm sure Andy Baker's got his eyes on trying to get that thing on this year. But Sandoval very deftly makes his way back up and goes right to the front again. Looking for the 5. 5 for Sandoval, 3 for Hofer, 2 for Max, and 1 for Baker. I'll get the updated points here shortly. As Sandoval should be still your leader now with 11 points after picking up another 5. And that impressive effort, he falls off the lead and then comes back into it, flies all the way to the front and snatches another 5 points in 2 consecutive sprints. His partners are going to have to think about how to become a bit more greedy as this race goes on if they want to be competitive against his points totals. Indeed, Sandoval, your leader with 11 points. After that, it's Russell, Richter, and Adams all with 5 right now. Carl Hofer, excuse me, gets in there with 6 points. Should probably resort my list here. Sandoval with 11 in the lead. Carl Hofer, number 23 for the Team Audi in the red, in second with 6 points. Russell and Richter and Adams all with 5 still. Ludo Max with 4. Max is number 35. He's off the front here with number 23 in our leader's jersey. So they're working their way towards the top 3 spot. The field has really organized and has closed down a pretty big gap to a reasonable distance now. They're currently under the wing and under the power of number 4, Andy Baker, who struck out for a bit earlier, was only able to make 1 point after all that effort. Is still trying to figure out how to get more in this points race. Needs this field to get back up and close this gap. He's starting to encourage him to do so. At 6 to go, Henry Kaiser is starting to breathe down their necks a little bit. More points next time for the Cat 1-2 men. Only 2 sprints remain. Ludo Max pulls out of the way for Mario Sandoval. He's looking down at his legs a little bit. I think a little bit of pain here. A lot of effort being put out by these 3 off the front. Sandoval still in the lead of the lap and may just be picking up 5 again. Looks like they're just going to come in, and you'll see now coming onto turn 4, out of turn 4 very quickly is Richter wanting to make a big jump. Sandoval for 5 more, Hofer for 3 more, Max for 2, and Richter for 1. As it just come for the same order each time, Sandoval just keeps picking up the big 5. Hofer should move into second place now after that, and that should put Ludo Max into, I believe, third place alone as well, as he now has 6 points, if I'm not mistaken. Richter only picking up 1 from that sprint. He needs some big action here. He's now made his way into this lead group of 4. Is number 7, wants to make himself known, maybe pick up the big 10 on the final sprint. Double the points in the final sprint means that there's still a lot of places to be sorted out. Sandoval in the lead with 16. Carl Hofer in second with 9. Richter and Max in a tie for 6 apiece. So it's not Ludo in third alone. He's in a tie with Richter. So those 2 riders in the lead group, between the 4 of them, you have the top 4 spots now in the points. No surprise, they've been out here long enough to pick up all the points on their own. At 3 to go, 4 in our lead group. Our field, crossing the line, has Kenny Williams, number 2, pulling for them currently. They're still within striking distance. You saw what Richter was able to do on that big effort to catch back on. 2 riders getting caught by the leaders are now in no scoring zone. They have to be caught by the field before they go down a lap. So right now they're on the pace of the leaders. So our field of 6 is really a field of 4. Those 2 will not engage in any sort of lead out or pulling in this group. They will be just the back end for now. Carl Hofer for the Audi Racing Team, a rider currently in second overall, is that rider in red at the very front. Really showing tonight how endurance is the more important of the 2 skill sets of points if you race it the right way. Hofer with a great race tonight. Sandoval racing this really brilliantly as well. Coming onto the home straight, Ludo Max getting the final bell. It's 10 points to lead the lap, and we got a pretty big group here as Baker and Many join the race again. Now for 10 points as Baker's found his wheel, and he tries to accelerate things out of turn 2. He's trying to hold Sandoval down a bit. He might have done so, not leaving a lot of room for the speedster down below him. It's going to be Richter side by side. Sandoval's got a long way around. It's Richter down the sprinter's lane. Baker alongside of him. 10 points going to the inside rider, or will be to Baker on the outside. It's 10 to Richter, 6 for Baker, 4 for Sandoval, and 2 for Ludo Max. Richter does his job. Sandoval holds on to his victory. He gives the fist bump knowing he's got it. Just needed a bit more on that last one, and no one was able to beat him off the front of this field. The great race tonight for Fountain Cycling Guild, doing another good showing this evening, is Mario Sandoval, again in that leader's jersey. He'll hold on for another week with a night like tonight. Points race for the Open Women. Hold for just a moment. Open Women coming to the rail for the points race. Points racing for the Open Women. Off we go, 20 laps. And it's 4x5 for the open women. Our largest field tonight, biggest registered competitive group today. In part from some out-of-town competitors making their way here, especially the Portland area, bolstering our forces today. In large part also the local efforts of the Breakfast Racing team, recruiting and growing at a remarkable rate. Lots of inclusivity work going on in the Seattle area, and it's going a long ways, folks. It's going a long ways, and we're really proud of these efforts going on here at the track. We're going to send it down as this race is getting started. It looks like we've got a young whippersnapper, JC Pyle, being interviewed down on the field. So I'll send it down to Chase for a quick interview here as this race gets started.
Alrighty, so I'm down here with JC Pyle, a member of our junior team, currently holding the leader's jersey and winner of our Cat 4 Major Keirin Finals. He also happens to be the undefeated Cat 4 Keirin leader this season. Can you give us some insight to your Keirin strategy, or is it just luck?
Really, I just try and hold it there and kick late. Seems to work.
Alrighty, anything else to say? Anybody to thank for your success this season?
Definitely my parents, gotta say. Also my sister, the one interviewing me, for just helping me out, buying me all the stuff I need, you know.
Alrighty, and would you recommend the juniors program to anybody else? Like, do you want to get more people in here?
Yeah, it's always great to have more juniors. It's a fun thing to do during the summer. Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Thank you, JC, and thank you, Chase. Congrats to JC for being the undefeated Keirin champ of the Cat 4 men for their one Keirin season. But you know what? Wear it as long as you can. That's a good title. Currently on the track, though, we've got our open women competing in this points race and still looking for their first point sprint. So no points out to anybody yet. We'll be starting that when the bell shows 16 to go. They're going to bell, and then we'll be into that first sprint. The same rules apply as the last field. 5, 3, 2, and 1 to the leaders on those sprint laps. Our field taking up a lot of track space right now is before this very first sprint in this big field. A little bit unfamiliar with each other too, as again, there's a lot of riders here and not necessarily we've seen every week here at the track. This is exciting to have this many riders turning out. So there's a level of familiarity as you race with the same people. You get comfortable and more familiar with their style and approach. So still figuring things out a little bit here early on and waiting for the impetus of that first sprint to really pick things up. Emily Alexander says, no, I'm not. Team Liquid Velo sends forth one rider, number 8. Picks up the pace, and the field follows in suit. Bell for our first sprint. It's points next time around. Who's the early leader here in the race? How about number 88, Catherine Wade-Easley? Lucy Gilchrist, number 22, falls into a good spot as well. It's not the short game in the points race, it's the long game. You might be able to get the first 5. The question is how many points can you get in the overall race? It's a long event. But this is a good opportunity to set sort of the tempo and the precedent early. Becca Book and Jenna Lingwood both trying to reestablish that tempo now as they hit their mark on the back straight. Becca Book coming out of the turn, leading things out. Jenna Lingwood trying to find the 5. It'll be Becca Book for 5, Lingwood for 3, Wade-Easley for 2, I believe. Hillary Luther, I got for 1. What do you do when you got good endurance? Try to catch them when they're on a rest. So Kelly Darlene's going to try to hit them at their weakest spot. We see her do this pretty consistently in the points race. It's a really good way to race it. Right as riders want to rest after the sprint, you go on the attack. Get aggressive. Jenna Lingwood is ready to keep going. So number 13 jumps on the wheel. Number 10 is fresh for some more action. Number 10 jumps in on it. And that's Scoville again riding in that Rider of the Year jersey for the open women's field. Down the back straight, it's a group of 6 riding together to bring in forward another bit of this field. It's shattered things under the effort of Kelly Darlene's attack. She's pulled this large field apart. The haves and the have-nots right now in this points race. You got to be up here with these riders or you're out of the fun. 13 to go. Darlene, number 1, leads the lap. Number 3, Becca Book. And number 9, Hillary Luther, right there behind her. Becca Book is your leader with 5. Bib number 3 out there. She's got the orange and the yellow for the Shadowed Elite team. It's Jenna Lingwood for Point S Nokian with 3 points in second. Wade Easley of the Kenmore Velo Cycling team with 2 is in third. Hillary Luther, riding in bib number 9, is fourth with 1 point. Everyone else looking for their first opportunity to pick up points in this race. A couple of riders being caught by this lead group of riders now hitting the back straight. I believe that would be the field and riders getting caught as they get caught by them going down the lap most likely. Field goes up to the blue line as Wade Easley starts to try to ride away, or is that Heather Nielsen, number 5, picking up the pace. Everyone goes high, she goes low on the attack. Right as the bell is going, in a great spot here, number 5 getting away from the field. Wade Easley buying her time a little bit longer as number 88 gets into the sprinter's lane, but she's not in any hurry yet. Your race leader, number 3, way on the outside, looking for a lane. Starting to pick up some pace down the hill into the back flat. And here comes the leader around the corner. Nielsen easily on her way for 5. Not easy. She makes it look easy. A great attack from her as they sit up high. Lingwood's looking around, seeing who's there. It's Lingwood for 3. Wade Easley 2, and another point for Luther as our riders carry on their speed and catch Nielsen and bring her back into the fold. Our open women being led by this group down the back straight now. Everybody else is behind them on the track somewhere. We got the largest group of other riders just coming out of turn 2 onto the back straight here shortly. We got a nice contingent of our competitors tonight. They're in the chase though, and they've got a ways to go. Our field's sitting up a little bit though, so they might be able, if they stay organized like they are now, this nice single file to get some room back on the leaders. Leaders now seeing 9 to go. Next bell at 6. 216 McKenna Lease for the Breakfast Racing team sitting middle in the front there. We are saying the leaders are the field, so that's where we'll determine when riders go down a lap and where the front of this race is. That's where everything's going to be determined by. There goes Darlene on another move. She brings with her the other junior in this field that's been showing her speed all night long, Scoville, in the orange helmet matches and takes the lead spot. This is well ahead of any bell. Seeing 8 to go. Several riders swinging up out of the way and reestablishing themselves. Again, this gives an opportunity for these really hardworking chasers. We actually have a group of what looks to be 5 coming out of turn 2 under the Greg Cycle sign that have made really good progress on catching. A couple riders from the Breakfast Racing team. One of the Jerry Baker Juniors. We got Lamar Edwards, number 4, helping out. So lots of riders just now reconnecting themselves. They're now back in on the race. That's a big effort to get back where they were, but still giving them an opportunity to stay competitive. That's what you want to do out here on a Friday night. Seeing 7 to go now as the field sits wide across the track. Everybody getting opportunity to catch some oxygen. Everybody's been working pretty hard in this field at the midway point. Hope the 33 out there currently live watching our stream on YouTube are enjoying the show and that you've already scrolled down and hit that subscribe button and supported the channel. We really appreciate it. Our nonprofit trying our best to bring racing of this quality to the country every single week through the summer months. Hey, at 6 to go, we got a bell and it's points next lap. Darlene, Lingwood, Luther, number 13, Lingwood down in the sprinter's lane. As we get up to speed heading down the back straight. Jenna still on the lead of the lap. Our leader in points with 6. Trying to find another 5 now. Her first 5-pointer. Couple riders in tow. Still with opportunities to strike at her as we hit the home straight. Jenna from the front still holding the pace. And Wade Easley challenging Lingwood. Wade Easley, Stotts, and I think Luther was the last rider to get points that time. Lingwood will be your remaining leader at this point. She should be at a total of 11 after that effort. Many of those riders making the jump up stay with the field after that sprint, so we still got a good-sized group here on the home straight. At 4 to go, in a couple laps, we'll have that final sprint, double points coming up at the end of the race. Lingwood still remains your leader with 11. Wade Easley moves into second with 7. Becca Book and Heather Nielsen in a tie for third with 5 apiece. Hillary Luther now has 3, currently good for 5th. After that, Stotts with 2. Everybody else looking for points. Our field going down the back straight in a couple laps, so get that final bell. Our race leader, Jenna Lingwood, sitting in the field. She actually now moves in almost into that sprinter's lane. She's near the front rider at the bottom position. Next to her, Alicia Stotts in the green in the middle lane, and on the outside is Heather Nielsen, another rider with some points. She's trying to get things moving all the way from the outside at 2 to go. Every lane is up and out of the saddle. The whole field picking up speed in 3 lanes at once. Mostly following the pole of Alicia Stott. Lingwood doesn't want to give up the front spot. She powers up a little bit more to try to keep that spot to herself alone. Becca Book starting to position herself, the rider in the orange. Number 3, second wheel on the outside lane right behind Stotts. Here comes the big final sprint. It'll be 1 to go. It's 10, 6, 4, and 2 on the lead lap. The final lap of racing for the women, the open women category tonight. Jenna Lingwood on the lead of the lap, number 13. Lucy Gilchrist right on the wheels, number 22 in a great spot. And trying to set one up big time from downtown, Kelly Darlene. Let's go, a big one here. The Jerry Baker Juniors know their track well. They launch one out of turn 2. It's the kids taking over. Kelly Darlene, Danny Scoville with the speed. Darlene with the setup, Scoville for 10. Darlene for 6. Side by side, Gilchrist and Lingwood. I think I might give it to 22 unofficially for the 4. Lingwood, I believe, still your winner with 2 points in the final sprint. Unofficially. Nice showing there for the Jerry Baker Juniors out of turn 2. Fun to watch the 2 of those riders flying fast into the back straight. We got ourselves 2 more points races going on tonight. Hey, the beverage garden's still open. Look at that. Hey, the food truck's still serving. I smell delicious chorizo right now coming out from the burrito from this person next to me. How dare they? And they didn't even bring fries or anything back. It's torture. But you don't have to be tortured. You just go down to the food truck and put in your order right now. Here comes our next group to the rail now. Cat 3 men. See a lot of folks taking off. We're starting to thin out. It's the end of the night. We know it goes along. If you came here from Derby Days, again, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the environment we have here. It's a great Friday evening, a great way to spend a beautiful night outside. Thank you again for joining us here at the Velodrome. Good stuff here. 2 more races to go. And if you were all watching on the stream, you would have saw another one of our fun traditions that started here. I think my family takes some ownership in the tradition, but the fist bump on the rail, it's always good. The kids come up and give a little love to the riders. It's always fun to watch. Our Cat 3 men going out for a points race. This is a 25-lap event, 5x5. So 5 sprints every 5 laps. As I was in the middle of saying, again, thank you if you were here in person joining us and you're starting to walk out of the park, because it is getting kind of late. We do run late here. We appreciate you coming by. If you had a good time, we'd love to see you again for some more Friday night racing. It's here every single week through the summer months. This is not a Derby Day only thing. Derby Days is obviously wonderful. We run all summer on Friday nights as long as the rain stays away. 7 o'clock start. You can find us here with great racing programs. Beverage Garden opened up, the food truck rolling in here and support what we're doing. Kiddie Kilos first and third Fridays. All the great stuff. If you can't remember anything, just remember velodrome.org and look it up later. Whistle says racing's underway, and we are going for 25 laps. First points will go out after the bell at 21 to go. On deck after this, the Cat 4 men for their points race. Early on in the race, good tempo from the Cat 3 men, taking turns, keeping the acceleration up for the first lap and a half or so. As we come onto the home straight, a couple of riders abandoning the lead quickly, but Snowblin happy to stay at least at a consistent tempo on the front. 23 to go. We've already picked our favorite from a couple of races already tonight, as 3-3-0 has been a hard one to beat for this Cat 3 field. Working on getting his upgrade points pretty quickly after a couple victories already in the Keirin and the Scratch is Wade Schultz. Riders can do what they saw happen in the Keirin, find his wheel, and you can be in a pretty good spot if you know how to race it. And you have that sort of awareness of where he's at. But everybody else in here is going to be fighting over lots of different sprints, lots of points, and lots of ways to win. So even though Schultz has shown some strength in the previous races, now that we've changed the format, it does give other riders an opportunity to mix things up a little bit. We'll see over the course of 5 sprints for points if he can still hold on to another win tonight. And here comes Schultz out of the field as called. He's going to go. No problem moving ahead of the field. 330 looking smooth on his attack. 321 is Tyler Danielson, the blue of Gene Johnson Cycling. He's got a partner in crime right behind him, and it looks like one of the juniors, Itai Malikoff, playing this one well too, trying to find a spot in for points. Schultz just leading it out from the front, looking to find the first 5. Danielson and Lynch for Gene Johnson Cycling lined up, and Malikoff. Whoa, that was close for one. I want to give it to Malikoff on the first look, but I'm not confident in that call. Might have been Andrew Lynch on the outside based on where I was standing and looking from. It is going to be Malakoff for 2, Lynch for 1 after looking closely at it. So the junior takes the 2 points in that first sprint. Again, Malakoff got 2, Lynch 1. Your leader is Wade Schultz with 5, Tyson Danielson with 3, Itai Malakoff with 2, Andrew Lynch with 1. Your leaders after the first sprint. Race leader Schultz at the front, leading the field around. Happy to be on his wheel now, coming into yet another opportunity for points. Our rider in second place overall, 321. Tyson on the outside, trying to get into position as Snoblin right alongside him for Aerotech Racing. Try to drag race it from the front and hold on to the sprinter's lane as the rest of the field slots in behind him. Schultz still unchallenged from the lead spot. Snoblin starting to close in a bit, finding some extra speed as he rounds the corner onto the home straight. It's Schultz for 5, Snoblin for 3, Danielson for 2, and I believe that was Lacey for 1. Question comes in on the live stream. What kit is Ty? I believe that must be a question about Tyson. He's riding the Gene Johnson cycling team, which is the kind of two-tone blue jersey. He's got one of the rider out there, number 319, Andrew Lynch, wearing the same colors, and a couple of other competitors racing in some of our other fields on any given night. So, rider, I think that question is about rider 321 of the Gene Johnson blue team. Hopefully that answers the question. On the back straight, it's Ben Flom for the Fell Swoop team in black and orange, making an attack before the bell. He's got another lap or so before points would come his way. He moves up and out of the way, though, early enough to find another wheel to follow into the sprint. Rider to number 333, Will Fowler for riding down track when there's another rider there. Official warning to number 333, Will Fowler for moving down track when another rider was present. And here we are at 11 to go. We enter the point sprint underway. Race leader number 330 in the second wheel spot now starts to take off. Ben Flom at the lead, number 306. Wade again has been sort of the undefeated here tonight. Ready to get his upgrade, and he's showing exactly why. He's already categorized that way on the road. He was working on this campaign of upgrading to a Cat 1-2 back before in the before time. Back to return to old form here for Wade Schultz. He picks up 5 more. Ben Flom for 3, 2 for Tyson, 1 for Snoblin. Tyson working here in all the sprints. He's been present near the front. He's on pace to be second overall in this race, with Snoblin working his way into a top 5 position as well. Your leader, Wade Schultz, going for the first 3 sprints. That's right, 15 points. Tyson Danielson in second with 7. Snowby for Airtech in third. with 4. Ben Flom with 3 is good for 4th. 2 to Malakoff in 5th. After that, I got Lynch and Lacey both with 1. Those are the official standings. Two sprints remaining here in our points race for the Cat 3 men, with Wade at the lead of this field. Andrew Lynch, number 319. A rider with some points to his name, trying to stay near the front and stay active and engaged. Riders saw 7 to go. And still basically under the toe of Wade again as we hit the back straight, getting ready to see who's next to take the lead spot. And it's going to be Mr. Grinsel, Mr. G of the Dyna Racing team. As the lane opens up, he goes for a big attack. He's been saving up for something here, and he's found his moment. Nice move here at 6 to go for Mr. G. Snowblin's trying to follow suit. Number 314 for Airtech Racing. Up in the mix, one of our riders with points. Currently, Snowblin is sitting in 3rd overall, so he wants to try and find some more in this big effort. Grinsel without anything yet, the rider off the front, looking for his first points. He's on cue to pick up 5. Snowblin still looking like he's got a good pace for the 3, starting to catch, but won't probably make it in time. Grinsel 5, Snowblin 3, and woohoo! Schultz even gave a little bike toss to ensure it. I think it's Schultz on the inside either way. Not by a lot, though. 333, I think, gets 1. Good sense, race awareness there by Wade. Is he knew he couldn't get 3 points, so he was sitting off the pace, but he kind of sensed the incoming speed. He could hear the approach of Fowler enough that he was ready to respond and hold that tempo to pick up the 2, I believe. They're reviewing to confirm because it was awfully close. In fact, they're still looking at it. At 4 to go, reviewing that last sprint. All right, you're welcome for the response there. Again, we're watching the chat. If you got questions or want to do a shout out or anything like that, we're usually reading the YouTube live chat as we tend to move most of our traffic over to the YouTube platform over the last couple of years. Thanks for the question. Why does Wade look so relaxed? Well, you know, ask him after the race, I guess. Got to stress him out some more. Close enough that the officials said they almost wanted to call it a dead heat for the sprint for 2 and 1. That's how tight that was. They're going to lean towards Wade on this. It's just so close, though. So the official call is Wade gets the 2. Will Fowler gets 1. Two to go. And plug that in, and Schultz goes up by 2 more, giving him 17. Tyson Danielson and Peter Snowblin in a tie for second with 7 apiece. Ben Flom with 3, Itai Malakoff with 2, and a couple riders with 1 each, including our most recent Fowler, joining the ranks of 2 other riders. Here goes Flom off the front. Flom currently sitting in 4th place with 3 points at 1 to go. Double points, here he goes, looking for the Big 10. Ben Flom for fell swoop. Wade Schultz pursuing quickly. Peter Snowblin trying to find 2nd place in this race tonight from the front of the field. He's got 3 riders lined up behind him, all ready to strike. The front of the race, though, is Ben Flom getting overtaken by Wade Schultz, today's very strong overall racer for the Cat 3. He's trying to get those upgrade points in big quantities in one evening, and he'll do so well enough. Here he comes for his 10. Ben Flom with a great move for 6. The sprint is on for 4. Itai Malakoff found a good place. It's the junior for 4 points. Tyson Danielson, number 321, picks up 2. Danielson getting 2 in the sprint means he should have a points total of 9 at the end. Flaum picking up 6 puts him at 9 as well, giving Flaum the tiebreaker over Tyson Danielson. I believe it'll be Flaum in second over Danielson at third, unofficially. Schultz picking up the 10. 100% will be your winner with 27 points on the night. Coming up next, our final race of the night is the Cat 4 men for their points race. Thanks for sticking it out with us. If you're still here, don't forget to leave that thumbs up on the YouTube channel, or if you're here in person, our version of a thumbs up is going and picking up a beverage in the beer garden, right? Hang out with us for the rest of the night. Every pour you buy is money that goes right back into the velodrome and supporting our racers, our education programs, our many different offerings that we do here at the velodrome. All podiums at the end of this race. We have a podium set up outside of the velodrome. It's out right behind the grandstands, in fact. So, oh, we're gonna move back in. Okay, never mind. We're moving it back in. Nix all of that I was about to say. Podiums at the end. All right. And now for the roll out for their neutral lap in time for this 4x4 points race to end the evening. Our final race tonight for the Cat 4 men. It's 16 laps, 4x4, same format we've seen 3 times before. Racing underway, and they've got 16 laps to go. No points on the board yet. First chance to pick up points at 13 to go. There'll be a bell for that first sprint. This is a 4x4, so one less lap of rest in between. The sprints will come a little bit faster overall for the Cat 4, as it'll be over in the blink of an eye in comparison. Westover at the lead, number 433. Coming into our first sprint now for the Cat 4 men. First opportunity for points. Bell's ringing, 13 to go. It's all evened up right now. Justin Captis looking like he's ready to move on up tonight with some great top speed in the Keirin. Some good savvy from him in a couple of races. He leads this sprint out. We've got also There's that one speedy kid, J.C. Pyle, trying to put together another quick sprint for the first points of this race. Look out for another junior, though. Really whipping into action is, I believe that's Magnuson, really flying in. Whoa, he's leaving everybody in the dust. Look at this speed. David Magnuson showing everybody how to do a real spin. 5 points for David. Ackle on the outside, 405 for 3. I believe it was Aerotech Racing for 2, and the inside line, Justin Captis, I think, for 1, unofficially. We'll check in on the points here shortly. Your leader, though, Magnuson, rider for the junior team, made everybody looking like they were riding backwards for a little bit out of turn 3. Impressive. He'll reset himself, get a chance to catch up and or catch back on his breath and give it another go in a bit. Ten to go. Bell next lap for the second sprint for points. Bell's ringing. .447 receiving an official relegation. I'll wait till after the sprint here. Not relegation, excuse me, a warning. I'll call this out after the sprint. Let's see how this one plays out as we got one of our juniors again. Magnuson for 5 more. 3 for Ackle, 2 for Captis, and 1 for Pyle that time as my eyes see it. This is an official's warning to 447, Ray Brown, for entering the sprinter's lane while occupied. This is a few laps back. This is not recent. A few laps back, we had entering the sprinter's lane while occupied. A warning to 447, Ray Brown. Magnuson picking up 2 front finishes there in 2 sprints in a row. Means he's got 10 and the lead of the race. We'll get the official points here shortly for everybody else. 7 to go. Next bell at 5. David Magnuson, again, our leader with 10. Alex Ackle in second with 6. Justin Captis in third with 3. Ray Brown in fourth with 2. J.C. Pyle in fifth with 1. 2 sprints remain for the group. Bell next time around the track. Coming into our bell, more opportunities for points. Number 435, your leader, at the blue line on the far outside, in another great position to try to pick up more. He's warmed up and ready to go in this race. He's side by side with one of his teammates and starting to pick up pace now down the back straight off of the lead of Mike Westover. Here comes Justin Captis, who's been waiting for a big attack of his own. Number 421 trying to come back into this one. Here comes Alex Ackle in the red. It's still Magnuson from the front. This kid knows how to get faster all night long. It's like with every race, he gets stronger. Magnuson, Captis with the second effort. Captis, Magnuson. I believe is in Ackle and then Sheedy. Three to go. We'll check in on our points here and see where we're standing. David Magnuson with 13 in the lead. It's in a tie. It is a tie now for second behind him between Alex Ackle and Justin Kaptis, both with 8. Then it falls off pretty dramatically. Ray Brown with 2, J.C. Pyle and Patrick Sheedy with 1, and everyone else looking for points. Magnuson being very greedy at the front. It's not quite a Wade Schultz scenario, but it's close. Seeing 2 to go. Bell next time for the final sprint and the final lap of racing tonight on this beautiful Friday night racing program. We were lucky today to have an incredible showing of live audience during the hours of Derby days. Again, our thanks to the City of Redmond and King County Parks for their ongoing partnership. Experience Redmond, one of our ongoing sponsors. A big thanks to them. Along the home straight, you can see all the other great sponsors that we have, as well as on our website, presented in so many different levels. They've really supported us. Seeing 1 to go. 4-4-2 in the sprint. Sorry, 4-2-1. I can't read numbers anymore. Justin Kaptis leading out the sprint, but it's going to be Pyle with the huge sprint down the back straight. He takes off in big fashion. He's trying to leave Magnuson in the dust for once, but look at this kid. David is just, again, he's like a rider possessed for this points race. You can't stop this guy. Here he comes again, trying to find 10 over JC. It'll be David Magnuson in top form for the points race tonight. JC Pyle finds 6, and it looks like Kaptis for 4. I'm going to give the nod to Sheedy for 2 points. Magnuson, my goodness. That kid's got some speed. Once again, a big thanks to our sponsors that help make racing happen. It is not possible for us to do what we do without a great deal of support from the community. Need a little bit of assistance with moving the podiums back to the infield. So Mara said the beer garden people. I don't know who that would be. Probably Zach, but and I think Carl might be helping as well with that, or I'm not sure. Eric is. Okay, great. If you're on the live stream tuning in, we're going to take a little bit of a break before we shut down the stream, because we are going to do our podiums and would like to have that still recording. But the official race program is over, and for that very reason, I'm going to thank you for joining us and appreciate you all sticking out. If you enjoyed the racing or enjoyed what you've seen, don't forget to leave that thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video with friends and family so that they too can check in on all the great racing happening here. We are so lucky to have this great racing community and all the support around it to make it happen. Big thanks to our staff, our officiating crew, our volunteers, the moms and dads that made it here today for the Kiddie Kilo, those of our staff that are helping run the live stream, and of course for you out there that are all viewing. Thank you to one and all for all of your support. And with that, we thank you for joining us and look forward to hosting you again for more great racing action here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.
All right, we're gonna start with our Elite 1-2 Men Nightly Omnium, and then the Rider of the Year. So the 1-2 Nightly Omnium is David, Mario, and Andy. David, Mario, and Andy for the Nightly 1-2 Omnium. And then the Rider of the Year, Mario, Andy, and Andrew. And then our Open Woman Nightly is Jenna. And then the juniors, hold on. I gotta figure out the order. Jenna, Danny, and Kelly. Kelly, you're on the podium. Danny, get up there. Second. And then the women's overall, Open Women's Overall Rider of the Year, Danny, Kelly, and Lucy again, but she had to leave. So the two of you just jump up there. Just jump up there together. Thank you. All right, Cat 3 Nightly Omnium. Wade, Ben, and Tyson. Wade, Ben, and Tyson.
Way to go, Wade!
And then last but not least, our Cat 4. Oh, just kidding. I need to refresh. Watch out for the children. Cadence, cadence, cadence. You need to go much slower than that. It's not up. Hold on. I'm waiting, Cat 4s. All right, we have David, JC, and Justin in that order.